All right. So last we left our adventurers. They were in the city of Sugod in the North Ward of Ilari. They had saved the Blue Nightingale from being framed by a doppelganger and uncovered a plot and possible reason for the assassination of Count Linnaeus, the newly appointed ruler of Sugod. They had decided that it'd be safer to stay outside of the main manor and convince the magistrate as well. So they had gone to their new friend Anil's apartment for a night to stay, and in the morning found that Anil had gone, saying that she needed to continue her hunt of her quarry. Apparently, one of the assassins that had gotten away, Kyonzi, the Dirge, and that she couldn't let this opportunity pass. So she had to leave the group and continue her quest, hoping to cross paths again someday. The group then, having some errands to run, brought the magistrate and both Marisol the Blue Nightingale to a safe place that the magistrate knew, Prelate Diona's house, the prelate of the Temple of the Hexad here in Sugod, the main religious organization of the continent of Barud. With the knowledge that Marisol and the magistrate were safe, the group went on some errands to buy some components and pick up a jewelry piece that Halbar had ordered maybe a week and a half, although it seems longer, for the Blue Nightingale. After retrieving their purchases and going about town a little bit and buying some snacks, they returned to the prelate's home in the temple district overlooking Sugod. And that's where we pick up. Adventures, you guys have returned to Prelate Diona's house here near to the 6 temples that make up the Hexad. And you've returned with falafels, pitas, distributed to the household.
If there's nothing else pressing, I'm gonna pick a corner, grab some falafel, and just start scribing spells.
All right. Fentwick grabs a cup with one hand free, grabs about 2 pitas of falafels from the mound that Poppy has been carrying around, goes off to a corner and starts furiously transcribing onto his newly purchased fine stones to add spells to his spellbook, seemingly not wanting to be disturbed by the rest of the party.
If there is nothing else to do, then I'll see if I could look for Duncan. Is he around?
Yeah, he's happily munching on falafel that he just got. He's got 2 in one hand and 1 in another that he's eating.
I will wait until he is done eating.
Okay, he does not take long. He eats them pretty quickly. In just a few bites each. Wipes off some crumbs, adjusts his robes, and then looks around a little sheepishly, and then regains his posture and stands attentively, trying to regain some modicum of composure.
Okay, then I'll walk up and I'll say, I was curious, if you could help me with some supplies.
After you got me those snacks, right? Of course you can, lass. What can I do for you?
Here, I have this list.
Yes, right. And you guys walk off and discuss what you need from him.
Okay.
Anyone else would like to do anything?
Halbar's gonna walk towards the Blue Nightingale, kind of sheepishly and shy, hands behind his back like it's a big secret, and he's going to produce the case that holds the jewelry. It's a little heart with like wings. And he's like, he'll say, I had this made before we left to the marshes. Wasn't really sure what was going to happen from then on out, but I thought we might be able to grab an afternoon snack or something. Poppy helped me pick this out.
But you trusted me even then?
Well, let's say it was more Fentwick who really saw what was going on, and it's kind of, I hoped it worked out, but it's kind of something built in the culture of my tribe. Maybe once we're done on the road, we can visit the north.
And I would love that. And she kind of pins it to her like lapel and leans in and kind of goes on her tippy toes to give you a kiss.
I don't know how long we're gonna be gone for. Bro, Fenthwick says it's a bit of ways, but we'll be here at least through the evening if you want to have some falafel on the balconies of the temple.
When you mention again, like leaving, you see her kind of try to fight back a little, some tears, and that sounds lovely, Halbar. I want to spend every minute with you that I can.
You be Halianthar if you prefer.
Halianthar. I like it.
Okay, I gotta go check on Belladin. Bye.
And then you turn
Aw.
awkwardly and go off to Belladin. And she stands there for a minute and kind of smiles and then takes a deep breath and probably goes off to speak with the prelate and the magistrate again, because they're having kind of small talk over tea and falafel.
Hey, Belladin, how are you doing?
I'm all right. This has been a lot. This whole thing has been a lot. I like that we're in here, away from the rest of the people in the city. It actually doesn't smell that bad in here, which is nice.
Hal smells
himself
like, okay, that's good.
Yeah. No, it's not you. It's just, I grew up in a place about as far south from here as you can get. And, man, the swamps were bad. But once you get this many people together, and they really don't bathe as much as they should, like, this is pretty terrible.
Well, let's hope we don't have to go into the sewers. I know what you mean. I was born far to the north, probably as far to the north as you were to the south. Everything out there is clean, fresh air. Bit cold, but takes a while to get used to. If you ever do.
Well, I imagine we'll be going up to where you're from eventually, right? We have to drop that nice young lass off.
Yeah, on the way, we're going to stop by the Emerald Conclave, from what I understand. But I think our journey is taking us southeast. At least that's what Fenthwick said.
A circuitous route. And
does that mean like safe?
Group. It means that we're going in a circle. Like we're going to go southeast, and then we're going to circle back around, go to the Emerald Enclave, which is up here to the northwest, and then we'd have to go further north to where you want to go. He was like, you see Belladin like about to pull out a map, like he's going through all of his scrolls, and he's like, actually, never mind. I don't need to show you. You know what I'm talking about. Do all of you always have this many loose ends, like different threads going on at the same time? Is that like a normal thing?
Well, we only met. I've known Poppy for a while, and Fenthwick for a while. I knew Fenthwick before I knew Poppy. We've been together for a while now. It kind of seems to follow us around for whatever reason that might be. You should have been with us one day. It's like the day took it felt like it was 3 or 4 or 5, even 5 times over for the same day.
That's impressive. Was it actually that way, or did it just seem that?
It was like a few hours.
Wow.
But yeah, when we were up in the north, we wanted to get through Chilwyn Pass, but they wouldn't let us go through. Said it was closed. So we came back down to Duneshire and went to Kieran's Lighthouse. Kieran was supposed to be this person Ambrosia's former love or something, and he imprisoned her. And I don't know. Fenthwick knows most of the story. I just, try to hit things. We met up with this mercenary company, and we're looking for work. It's a little bit of a war going on, though we have been further south. We need to report in to our commanding officers, the people we report into, more like a mercenary contractor group.
Wait. You all belong to like a mercenary group? This is the first time well, no, that's actually a lie. You've talked about it to other people. I've finally realized that we have not really spoken about anything really. We just kind of hit the ground running, and now we're here.
We started at the bottom,
and now we're at the top. So I'm extremely far away from home. I was given this staff, and he like motions to the staff as like leaning in the corner. by my adoptive family / mom, and I'm researching. That's kind of what our tribe does. We're given like a, I guess a purpose would just be like a really easy way to explain it. We have like one thing we go do, and instead of going out and having fun, we leave home and we go and try and find some type of knowledge and bring it back. There are ruins that I've been tracking and looking for that have to do with creatures that don't exist anymore. They had scales and teeth and wings and stuff. They're pretty impressive.
Were they blue?
And they were a bunch of different colors from what I found at the different sites. The information I've gathered thus far, and I've been traveling this way looking for the Emerald Conclave. Apologize, and to see if anyone there has knowledge of these creatures from when they existed. Maybe in their records. And then I meet all of you, and then we find that druid that is from there and corrupted. So that's why I'm up here.
We've only seen the blue ones.
Oh, you've seen?
I mean, it wasn't real. It was like I wouldn't say a portrait on canvas. It was like a hollow something. I forget. Fenthwick, he knows it better. That was a long time ago. Well, maybe a few months ago. Felt like a long time ago. In fact, they found some armor from this place. We went into these ruins. It's worth a pretty penny. Way up to the north.
He does pull out. He pulls out the map at this point. Please show me on the map.
Halbar will look around and he'll like turn in place as if he's trying to get himself a direction. And he's like turning and flipping the map and like turning the map. And he's like, okay, here's Chilwyn Pass. It's in between the two peaks here and here. If you go around the southern part of this map, right over here, it's a mining village called Nestle Rock. I think that's where we went through some kind of portal. It's been a while. We almost got trapped, but
you look over and Bellin's just like furiously taking notes. Oh, you got trapped. What'd you get trapped by?
Well, it was like we needed magic. Fortunately, we had Bentwick with us. He like pulled out some paper and spoke some words, and it lit this. What are those cauldrons that have fire in them?
Like a brazier?
That's it. He lit one of those things, and it sucked in the magic, and it opened the gate for us, and we came back out. That's where we saw the blue dragon. The blue scaled beast.
Dragon, yeah. I mean, yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. And he's just taking notes of everything you're saying. Okay. All right. Yeah, but I mean, he like finishes up taking down notes, and he says, "There's no real time frame. Like everything that you all seem to have going on seems to, have priority, or at the very least, like an imperative circumstance that makes it so we need to kind of hurry up. Like you guys needing to report in to your mercenary company, and then that, young lass needed to, be taken somewhere safe. Like all of these things are definitely more intense. I don't know. When we have everyone together, I'll share a little bit more of my research. You all should know what I've found thus far. It's it might be important. I don't know, or I might be crazy and none of it's real. But I mean, you all say that you've seen. I mean, the runes. I just don't feel like they would make all these sculptures and paintings and reliefs of these creatures if they didn't exist at some point, right?
Sure. I just know I got to get back to the north within the next few seasons. I have something important that's supposed to be happening, and I got to get back there.
Oh, all right. Well, we can talk about that at some later point. Couple seasons. Well, that's got a little bit of time then. So, how are you two? That seems like is it new? Have you guys known each other for a while? That you and Nightingale?
Yeah, we go way back. Like at least a week.
Nice. A week. 10 days is not too bad. That's a good amount of time.
Yep.
She seems to really like you.
Of course.
How do you feel?
It's important, but at the same time, it's a bit complicated. I mean, we're both at the age we're supposed to be. I might be a little older than normal, but my kingdom needs a queen. I mean, my tribe needs their high priestess.
He starts to take notes. Interesting. Okay. Good times. Well, is she traveling with us, or she's staying here and we're gonna go report in or whatever that is?
I think we're gonna go to wherever Fenthoka's taking us, but after that, we're gonna head to your conclave and then hopefully get through the Children Pass if we can get the Duke to give us permission to get through there.
That would be nice. All right. Well, that's exciting. Do you know what everyone else is doing?
I don't know, but I'm gonna go eat.
That's a good idea. I'll come with you. And then he grabs his staff, rolls up his parchment and the map, puts them in his scroll tubes, and follows you to wherever there's food.
I'm gonna eat meat if that's all right. Well, I saw you're like flying creature. I think that's all right.
We'll see.
Yeah, Poppy has left the falafel on the tea tray that Duncan had as her and Duncan went off discussing whatever they needed to discuss. So there's the falafel, or you could try to go see if there's anything else in the kitchens.
Yeah, we're gonna go raid the kitchens and see if we can find
Okay.
anything with meat. We'll be right back.
There's definitely lots of meat, as this is a dwarven household. So there is lots of cured wild boar, whole, the whole leg, kind of like a hamon style.
Yeah, I'll take one of those.
The kitchen staff is more than willing to accommodate any needs that you ask for, as they know that you guys are guests of the prelate.
I'll probably just eat the falafel.
And I'll be eating too much to talk to Belden anymore and kind of just smile and nod my head as I chew on this leg of ham.
It'll be a nice, comfortable silence while we're eating.
Yep.
This giant man and his thinner, younger grandfather.
So, would you guys like to do anything else during the day? Visit anywhere, go to anywhere? Belladin, you said you wanted to go to the temple before?
It was more just to chat with people, but it's nothing I need to RP. Yeah, it was just he was gonna find a spot when it was still sunny, like before the sunset, and do some naked sunbathing by the temple. So he was just gonna ask the priest for a place, if there was a private spot where he could lay out in the sun and absorb some vitamin D.
But they're right. I mean, like I said, this is downtime, so whatever you guys want to do, we'll do it. You go to the Temple of Xi'an, one of the 6 Parthenon-style temples. This one's has a small enclosure, but is more open-air gardens. And you notice that there are certain sections that still have winter season that is around right now, but there are gardens as well that pretty much every season is represented, and whatever you would like, you can go and spend time in that, in the bounty of nature in that season.
He's probably going to, because he's been, I mean, you said it's winter, right?
Yes, it is winter.
Yeah, so he's probably going to go to the spring section and like just kind of pay homage and just interact with the nature there and just kind of just enjoy his time there. He's gonna sunbathe in the summer section if it's allowed, and then in the fall section he's gonna go and like give thanks, because that's start for his ideas of nature and from his tribe, like the passing and moving on kind of starts in the fall. So he's going to go and give thanks there, because he's kind of, in the world, we're already in the middle of like the dead season, the passing season. So he's gonna just kind of do like a circuit of the different seasons and give thanks and sunbathe, and then have like a solemn moment in the fall section before returning.
So they definitely, there are kind of private enclosed, with hedges and stuff for private reflection, and being the goddess of nature, they have no aversion to people worshiping in, their natural state. So you go through each season, kind of meditating. Give me a perception check.
9.
9. Okay. There's an old man in the center, kind of near the enclosed section. While it's enclosed, it's not really enclosed. It's just more structured in the center. But you can still see all different sections. And he is kind of on his knees at one of the pews praying. But yeah, that's all you really notice.
Nice. I don't know if we're gonna go through it RP wise, but when he's in the summer section doing his sunbathing, he takes off all of his clothing and like hangs his armor and his bags and stuff on his staff, but he keeps his gloves on.
So you strip to your birthday suit, except for your gloves, and bask in the warm sunshine that whatever divine favor grants this section of the Temple of Xi'an. And you are, for a moment, brought back to the warmer climates of your home. Although it's not quite as humid, which actually you find a little pleasant, but definitely you feel more comfort in the warm temperatures here. Would anyone else like to do anything?
I'm gonna just go check in with Fenwick. I see he's copying all his spells. Gonna walk up, not say anything while he's feverishly writing his stuff, and just sit there and breathe heavily. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to bother you. Actually, I did. Are we leaving tomorrow, or are we gonna go see the Duke and then we're gonna go?
Well, I thought if we're going to be here, we might as well see the Duke.
Okay. And we're going,
Waste just to instantly leave as he arrives.
and he's gonna point around, and we're gonna go this way, right?
Well, I
He
guess
is
we
pointing
need
to
have
the
a
southeast. Yeah.
Yes, we need to have a discussion about the route we want to take, but yes, generally.
Okay. All right. Very good. They said he was gonna be here like tomorrow, hopefully, or the next day. You know me, I'm ready to go. And he's got like a fully eaten ham hock in his hand that he pointed with, and he's like chewing on the bone.
Well, we've had a rough few weeks, so it wouldn't hurt to rest for a day or so.
That's fair. I'm gonna go get some more food. You want anything?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Okay. And he'll stomp back off towards the kitchen.
So after 2.5 hours, Poppy returns. If you would like to describe that, Poppy.
As Poppy walks downstairs or wherever she comes from, nonchalantly, you guys notice that there's a relatively large owl sitting on top of her head, kind of perched on her yarmulke. It's white with like brown speckles. The owl kind of looks straight ahead, so it doesn't quite turn its head and has this blank look on its face. And then Poppy walks over to see if there's any more falafels left over. If so, then she'll start munching. She actually moves her head, like she's tilted her head. You notice that the owl's head is always leveled, So you know when you kind of tilt an owl, you kind of so you guys notice that as she moves her head around.
It's funny because I always picture Poppy when she walks, she has a little pop in her step where she like goes on her tippy toes every time, and the owl's head just stays still.
Yes, exactly.
So Hal's gonna walk over to Poppy and seeing this large owl. Is it large or is it small?
It's not like a great horned owl or anything like that, but it's pretty large.
Halbar's gonna walk over quickly and say, "Hi, little one. It's nice to not have to be running for our lives." And he'll be looking at the owl to see if there's a message like on its foot.
Give me a perception check.
7.
Between the feet are kind of hard to see between Poppy's kind of pigtails and her helm of comprehend languages. You're not really able to see that well to whether there's a message on its feet or not.
Okay. And if I don't see the message, then I'll smile at Poppy and shrug my shoulders, and I'll head back outside and then look towards the sky to see if I see a bird or a bird of prey.
Okay, roll me another perception check.
She goes, I know, right? Isn't it nice to just relax for a change?
It is. I don't want to go back to the swamp, but I know Belladin likes to be in like hot, humid places.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But it's It's quite lovely. And keeps munching.
Do you know if where we're going is like that? Because that wasn't very much fun.
I don't know, but it, I always like uh, um, exploring new things. You know me.
He laughs. I do know you. You end up in the strangest places, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
He looks at the white streak in one of her pigtails and kind of grabs it with his hand and rubs it between his forefinger and his thumb, and he smiles. It's nice to relax, but it'll be good to get on the road. I'm gonna go get some more food. Do you want anything?
No, I think I'm good. Thanks.
I owe you donuts. I know. I won't forget.
Wait, I thought the falafel were the donuts.
Did they put any
I
cinnamon
don't-
paste
you
on
do.
it?
I don't know. Did they?
No, it has kind of that kind of tzatziki and then like a spiced cumin hot sauce.
Okay, so it's more savory than it is sweet.
Yeah.
Well,
You know how I'm happy. I'm happy with whatever I have. So
Okay.
don't worry about it.
all right.
And then she kind of like on the chair she's sitting in, she kind of kind of lays back and like puts her feet on the table, but the owl then like moves and like to accommodate. And this entire time, she is talking very just like normally, not acknowledging anything else.
So if nothing else, you guys' day is spent in relative peace. One of the first days you guys have known in quite a while since you guys have started adventuring together. There's good food, good company, for some good weather, for others good books and good reading. And the day goes by and the night comes. Would you guys like to do anything before you rest for the night?
I would have a falafel dinner with the Blue Nightingale and make small talk and just kind of talk about my tribe. And eventually, when we head back north, I'm not sure when the timing is going to be. It could be any time, or it could be as many as 5 or 6 seasons from now. I'm expecting a messenger calling me home. I hope you don't mind the cold. I understand, I'm not sure if you're from here. And he gestures around to Sugod. I'm sure my friends and family would be able to make you comfortable. Would you like some owlbear jerky?
I've never had owlbear jerky. Is it any good?
It's terrible, but it fills you up, especially when you're on the road.
I'll pass for now. Thank you, Aliantha.
So, we haven't really talked. Where are you from?
Not from Alari, that's for sure. I originally come from the Mahar Islands. Have you ever heard of them?
Nope. What's an island?
That's a good one, Hal.
And he looks at her deadpan serious.
You've seen the ocean, yes?
I've seen the sea, but I've been to the river. I'm not sure I've ever been to the ocean. No, I haven't been to the ocean. In fact,
you know what the ocean is, yes?
I understand it's like a big body of water. We went by Duneshire and there was the big river. We ice skated across it. I think we owe that lady a ice sailing vessel.
You do get on some crazy adventures, don't you?
This is the craziest one.
The Maha Islands. Well, let me explain. How do I explain an island? An island it's like what you have here, a continent, but much smaller. It's a piece of land surrounded by the ocean.
Oh, you mean like a big ice floe in the middle of the water?
You could think of it like that, but instead of ice, think of it as dirt and rock and soil and, well, land.
Okay, so it's not as cold. And maybe a little bit bigger. I've seen some big icebergs.
I didn't even really truly know what cold was until I came to this continent. It is definitely not cold. We mark the seasons by whether it rains or whether it doesn't.
Yeah, same. We do the same. It's actually really easy because the bears on the northern plains, they either are sleeping or they're not. So we know when it's time to hunt, when it's time to move, when it's time to travel from place to place, find shelter. I know what you mean.
She explains it's an archipelago of islands between the continent of Barud and a far-off continent that you've never heard of.
Yep. She says something and I'm like, huh? What's an island?
It can be a bit dangerous, but it's a beautiful place full of wondrous things and all sorts of people. I haven't been there in quite a long time.
I know what you mean. Did you grow up around your family or like were you kidnapped and brought here?
No, wasn't brought here by kidnapping, but me and my sister, we chose to come here. We heard of the riches of the kingdoms and nations here, and we got swept up in our youth.
That's right. I remember you mentioning that just last week, maybe 10 days ago. Well, that's good. Being kidnapped sucks.
It does.
I mean, honestly, it was Belladin. It was Fenthwick's. He saw something going on, and I just couldn't help but think about when I was kidnapped and what it was like when I was being held against my will. And I was like, we're gonna get that lady out of there. He turns a little bit red or embarrassed, and I'm thankful we did.
He kind of, as you're explaining and you look embarrassed, she kind of takes your hand and didn't know that someone as strong and powerful as you, Hal, could experience such hardships as well.
Honestly, my upbringing kind of grew me into this. He says something in Orcish for the fierce and the strong. I learned that language when I was captured by orcs. When I was a young man, they made us toil in the mines and saw a lot of my friends perish. But when me and the shaman escaped, we made it back to the tribes, and I worked hard to lead my people. And I was indoctrinated. I mean, it's probably not that big a deal to you, but for us, being in the Northern Watchers is kind of a big deal. It's kind of a forward scout where they, look for these orcs if they're coming down against the tribes. We have large statues with pyres on their outstretched hands, and we light those fires. But we're the forward group to keep them away. And I was sent down here so I could learn more about the skills of man down here, to be able to lead my people back there. Enough about me. Please tell me more about you. And then I'll imagine she talks about her past over the next few hours.
Yep. You guys kind of are picking at the rest of dinner, after dinner coffee or tea, and kind of making not really small talk, but kind of sharing, tidbits about your lives. Very nice. All right. Anyone else like to do anything before bed? So you guys, if you're staying the night at the prelates, she can arrange kind of, it's not a huge house, but you guys could probably, she has, obviously the magistrate will have her own quarters. She probably has like an extra spare 2 rooms that you guys can split between you.
I'll just stay on guard and on post or whatever outside of where the Nightingale's staying.
Okay.
Even if it's on a pew out in the temple proper.
All right.
I'm gonna ask the prelate. So I'm gonna get both of them, our party, and then up to like 3 other people for the 10 willing creatures for water breathing, because I do that before bed. And I'm just
Okay.
like, hey, this is a just in case thing. I do this every night. Just it's to help for the next 24 hours. And then I do my little dance thing. I cast water breathing.
Duncan is very confused, but doesn't really object. But is thinking to himself, doesn't really know why he would need water breathing, but he gets it just because he can.
If I know
Duncan, you can literally continue to talk while you drink all your ale.
You could waterboard yourself with ale.
well, I mean,
And it won't bother you.
see, nobody thinks they need it. No one thinks that someone tries to drown somebody. You know what I mean?
Kind of his eyes light up when you guys start speaking of ale, and like the prelate gives like a little side eye, and he kind of straightens up, but he has a little bit of a smirk on his face now.
Yeah. Belladin finishes his dance. The little starlight wisps come off from him and fall on everybody, like as the air thickens and then releases, and then Belladin goes to bed.
If I could have everyone but Belladin go to another audio room. Belladin,
Yes, sir.
as sleep takes you, you go through a few kind of normal dreams, and then suddenly you feel consciousness come to you, but you're standing in the ablet pools of your home,
Mm.
surrounded by the swamp. You see various plant life that grows, the native fauna there, but the cycles of growth and death are accelerated. You see many, many seasons unfurl before your eyes, and the peripherals of your vision, you see the bare, faintest outlines of furbolgs.
Hmm.
You try to turn to call out to your family, but they just, every time you turn, the scene shifts again, and you're once again staring at the same scene again of the plant life of the swamp, and the cycles of rebirth and death and rebirth and death.
Hmm.
And suddenly you feel your sight being pulled high up into the air, and you start to circle the swamp, and you look and you see in the peripherals wings, your wings, both to the left and right, and talon feet below you.
Hmm.
Suddenly, your eyesight and consciousness is shot forward as you apparently fly over the continent of which you spent so much time walking to get to the north. You go north further to a snow-covered forest of pine, and there your focus is inward, down towards the ground, where once again you see now the northern fauna go in that same accelerated cycle of death and rebirth and death and rebirth, until you come to a large tree, a large pine tree, bigger, much bigger than the rest. And as it grows, you see the bark rot in the center, and your vision suddenly blanks, and you see in front of you a large, possibly large, humanoid figure of a female elf, but made of pure energy. And she just asks, "Will you be my champion?" I need to make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Ooh, shoot. 18.
18. As you hear her, and she kind of continues to speak, but the voice grows soft. You can't understand the words, although they seem to have echoed in your mind so loudly before. And suddenly your consciousness and vision you get flashes of different images of land, but vibrant, new with life, of these great, giant humanoid elven figures striding upon the land, hurling bolts of energy and great powers, the land erupting, and you see suddenly flashing before your eyes a scaled reptilian almost head, white scales gleaming, and two large reptilian eyes stare into you. And just you hear one word: truth, truth, truth. And suddenly your consciousness fades back and you go back into a few more sets of dreams that you don't really remember.
Well, to repeat the words of one Arthur Homewood, well, damn.
So Halbar, give me a perception check.
Alrighty. Oh, it almost hit a 20. I'm mesmerized by the nightingale.
Eventually you try to keep watch as long as you can before you have to take a rest yourself, but nothing catches your eye. There's no apparent dangers, so you guys all get a long rest.
Yay!
Nice.
2 days in a row.
Yep.
Christmas miracle.
First time.
So you all awaken. Fenthwick, you awaken to an owl staring at you like an inch away from your face. But yeah, so the morning comes. Is there anything else? Is there anything you guys would like to do?
I'll go to Fenthwick and I'll stand there like I normally do until Fenthwick addresses Sir Marindale addresses me.
How can I help you?
So, are we going to see the Duke today, or do we know if he's coming
I
today?
suppose that depends if he shows up or not.
All right, I'm going to be over there.
The prelate seemed to...
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Sir Marindale.
I'll allow it this time.
All
No
right,
one's ever going to let me forget that.
I'm going to be over there. Like my thumb over my shoulder towards the nightingale. We'll just be having probably some food.
Yep, you guys go off to a little kind of secluded little patio area off to one side of the house, the manor, and have more snacks and tea and kind of just get to know each other a little more. Would anyone else like to do anything in the morning before we kind of go forward?
I'm going to spend another 4 hours
Obvi-
describing one more spell.
Probably will come downstairs or wherever. And again, the owl on top of her head. She looks kind of sleepy, kind of like she didn't want to wake up, but she's up and we'll eat breakfast.
Everyone else has already eaten by that time, but they do get you and I mean it's not a big household, but there's like 2 kitchen staff, 2 cooks. They're happy to make you a plate.
Occasionally she'll get a piece of bread,
Mm-hmm.
and then she'll toss it in the air, but she'll not look up. She'll just toss it in the air,
Mm-hmm.
and then the owl will catch it, so it eats.
You're not tossing it straight up each time, but its head extends just enough and catches it each time.
Yeah, and Poppy doesn't look up or anything like that. She's just doing it.
You after a few hours, around noon, so Fenwick, you can get that 4 hours for that one more spell. You see the magistrate and the prelate talking, looking pretty serious, and the prelate kind of excuses herself and then leaves for a moment, and the magistrate turns to you all. As I had told you all before, we were expecting the Duke sometime today, maybe later today, but it appears you all might be able to meet him sooner. If you all don't have any other business to attend to, if you could gather here in about 30 minutes or so. If that's agreeable to you all.
All right. Just call me Fenthwick. I'll be
Sounds
ready to
good.
go.
I'll hurriedly go back to my room and put on my fine wizard robes.
All right.
Pointed hat.
No, I don't have one of those, I'm afraid.
Roger that.
Top hat, though, right?
Hmm?
Is that a top hat that you're?
Oh, yeah. Because it makes me 6 inches taller.
Yeah.
So about 30 minutes go by. You guys all gather in the main area. And the prelate returns now with 3 other figures. 2 men in plate armor with shields and swords, long cloaks, a halfling wearing fine robes and carrying a staff, and another hooded figure who enters and then puts down his hood, and you see it's a human male, middle-aged, little darker complexion, probably olive-skinned, dark black hair, although graying at the sides, with grayish brown eyes. Kind of enters, takes a look, and the magistrate, Your Highness, may I present to you the adventures of whom we spoke of earlier, as well as your advisor spoke of earlier, as you had sent the message that you would be arriving. These are the adventures that I've spoken of. This is Duke Elias of the House of Lensor, ruler of the North Ward, commander of the Northern Legions. And he kind of takes a moment to look over all of you.
I'll give him a rightful bow to a leader of his people.
He kind of gives a nod to you, Halbar. He kind of nods and puts his hand out and... Thank you, Ophelia. I'm glad to meet all of you. Although I wish it was under better circumstances, but it appears that we have much to discuss, and much I must give you thanks for. We had received word in Ornost that Sugod was under some sort of siege. I commanded 2 companies of the Northern Legions to prepare, and we rode out immediately. Eventually, I had my advisor here send a message to the magistrate, and she informed us of some of the details of what has transpired here the past few days. From what I understand, you all were key parts and in the thick of everything that has gone on. If you don't mind, I would like to hear first-hand accounts of what you know of what has transpired on my lands.
My lord, I must ask you, did your messenger come by eagle or by owl?
Neither. And with that, you see the halfling kind of, that would be me, my friend. I am able to send messages over long distances.
You don't look like you can fly.
Actually, I can fly, but I send messages more along the arcane means. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. I'm advisor Casper Usal.
Well met, Casper. And he looks for like a messenger thing on his boot. And he doesn't see one, he looks back. Sir Marindal, aka my friend Fenthwick.
Will you please quit calling me that?
My friend Sir Marindal, not Fenthwick, said we came to the party and there were some assassins trying to kill the Count. He rescued them, and then we headed to rescue Magistrate here. And when we got back, he was no longer with us. Belladin and I saw some like fiendish creatures when we went to retrieve our belongings at the main gate. And he'll describe not what Belladin looked like, but what the fiendish creatures looked like, which is almost the same thing. And they looked like this, and we came back in and rescued the magistrate from these creepy creeping vines. That's pretty much what I know. Can you give us a pass through the Shilwyn Pass? Thank you.
Well, quickly through all this, he's kind of like, that's quite a series of events. The magistrate here had informed my advisor here that you were part of the Eye of the Storm, yes?
Yes, some of us.
Yeah, Fenthwick probably knows more detail than me. I read when this stuff goes down.
May I ask why you're not up north with the rest of your company? That is what I hired your company for.
Our superiors put us on special assignment.
Interesting. What brought you to Sugod? How did you learn of the planned attack? What else? What do you know of its plot?
Well, now that's a long story.
I
And I'll regale him with the entire story of
yeah.
we were at this lighthouse, and these guys tried to kill us, and we killed them. And then we took their place, and then we came here, and then we made contact with these guys who wanted us to go get something so that this ring could be stolen. And I'm like, totally like, it's like the conspiracy theory guy with like, he's like drawing things, and making connections, and then eventually we came back, and they tried to kill us. And then this assassin showed up and helped save us. And somehow she knew about the attempt. So we broke into the party. But then the guy got killed. But then I brought him back. Yada, 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 yada,
That's quite the convoluted plot. You'd think not even a bard could write such a tale. Your stories align with reports from other sources I have of what's going on in the dukedom, in the North Ward here. We have seen an increase in the attacks on supplies sent to the Chilwyn Pass. I had suspected that there was more to this than simple banditry, but I could not prove it. It seems my assumptions were correct. Do you know the reason I hired your company?
Not specifically. You mean as opposed to some other company? Or why you hired anyone?
Why I hired the Eye of the Storm.
No, I don't.
Over the past few years, my scouts at Chilwyn Pass have been receiving troubling reports of increased activity to the far north and near the spine. Eventually, those reports and those activities reached further south, closer to our borders. We saw an increase in refugees from the various tribes. And he gives a look towards you, Hal. I wanted to send some of the Northern Legion past Chilwyn Pass to find out what exactly has been going on. Unfortunately, the Crown forbade it, and as the King has explicit command of any Ilarian forces outside of Ilari's borders, I was unable to counteract the Crown's orders and send men. However, there is no such edict or rule about hiring extra guard. So I contacted your company and requested soldiers adding extra security to Chilwyn Pass. Your company's actual mission would then to head north to find out exactly what's been going on in those frozen lands and if there was a threat to Ilari. But it appears that the threats, it seems, are not only at our borders. It seems there's some plot to disrupt the power here in the North Ward. Plot against me, against my house, against my rule here. The magistrate tells me that you are off to another location, it appears. Is this more special assignments from your superiors?
We're not really at liberty to discuss it.
Very well. Is there anything else that might come to your mind? Anything else that might be helpful?
Halbar is going to step forward. My lord, my name is Prince Halianthar Hyperion of the Northern Watchers, the prince of my tribe, who guards these lands to the north against these invaders, Orcish, Fiend, Gnoll, and even Drow. I will do this bidding to find these invaders to the norths of your border, as they invade the tribes, invade the lands of my tribes, and I will do this willingly, should you grant access through Chilwyn Pass. And he gives a soldier salute and steps back in line.
He returns a soldier salute and this time bows towards you. Prince Haliantha, I know of your tribe and your tribe's duties. I know of your honor and your fight. You should know then that the reports we received were an increased activity with the Orcish clans in the north. Now, as you are well aware, there are various orc tribes, some more hostile than others. How long has it been since you've been in the north?
Several seasons since me and my tribesmen escaped. In fact, we were held as captives. I was held as captive for years in my youth to my teenage years amongst these people. We escaped. They moved to the north, to the Sentinel Mountains. There's an ancient stronghold there. I'm expecting them to call me home any time now. But I came south to learn new skills and recruit worthy men who can travel across these icy plains.
We share similar purpose then. My scouts then. I'll tell you of the reports that I have received. Not about 2 seasons ago, we received once again after an increase in refugees fleeing south. Our men were told tales of increased wars between the different clans of the orcs. No longer were they just interested in raiding tribes and acquiring slaves. One clan in particular appeared to be the most bloodthirsty and vicious, and one by one it appears the other clans have fallen. The war bands are now united under one banner. Some new war chief has arisen. I feared that they were tending to march south, but did not appear to be so. Instead, they marched north. I used that time to increase our securities at Chilwyn Pass, contact the Eye of the Storm, to try to gain more forces that could be sent north, to see what's going on and hopefully repel whatever wars might come upon us. But, as you well know, if the orc clans have been united under a banner of war and blood, then the north is not safe, either the north above Chilwyn Pass or the north as we call it here.
And I think at that point, Hal will repeat the Watcher's prophecy and creed, almost in unison to what the Duke is saying to the audience gathered. As
Go for it.
As he's saying these words, Hal's thinking in his mind, when the blades of crystal glare down upon a brilliant canvas, the Watchers will rally to the standard of the Stray, joining arms with lonely tenants under a shining sun to keep the shadows at bay. And that's what he's thinking. Like, he's seeing these orcs and then their mobs in darkness rushing south as his Watchers rush north and in a flash, he blinks his eyes quickly and he continues to listen to what the Duke has to say.
The Northern Watchers can come back once again. And your fortress resurface. It would be a boon to all peoples. If you wish access through Chilwyn Pass, I would happily grant it. You are not my subjects. You are not mine to command. But, if you would, there are several pressing matters that have come of these events, that if you decide to pursue them, you would have my gratitude, the gratitude of all of Ilari, and of course compensation. The first and foremost, of course, and he looks towards you, Hal, is the journey to the north, to possibly reunite with the rest of your company, find out what has happened there in the north, what kind of threat this poses, and to unite any forces willing to stand against it. But that is not the only option. Unfortunately, that is not the only threat on my mind. There is, of course, the plot that I had just mentioned. There is unrest here in the kingdom. Some forces at work that seek to sow chaos and upend my rule. Maybe the rule of all. I'm not sure. But this plot that you have all thwarted here, its intent to me seems clear. While Sir Giles has his faults. He is my vassal, and as such, his actions are my responsibility. If what had transpired here was successful, it appears that blame of the assassination of Count Linnaeus, member of the House of Roldan, would have been laid at my feet. It seems you all have been in the thick of uncovering that plot and pursuing some of its leads, from the attacks on military supplies heading to Chilwyn Pass, to then whatever group this is heading to Sugod. If you would choose this option, you could help me uncover further the machinations of this plot and find out its instigators and bring them to justice, bring them to light. You see the magistrate nodding fervently at that.
Hal will go step back into line with the group and say, "Oh, sorry, sorry, Sir Melindar. You were going to say something. I didn't mean to interrupt." And he kind of pushes Fenthwick forward.
Sir Marindal Fenthwick,
Oh,
is it?
just forget that whole Sir thing. It's just Fenthwick.
Oh.
And he kind of gives a glare at Hal. Told you to quit calling me that.
I thought you meant Fenthwick.
It's like he mentally face bombs. Like, no, not Fenthwick. Now I've totally lost my train of thought. Oh, orcs. You know, we did encounter some orcs up in Nestle Rock down in the mines. I described that whole little incident.
That is concerning.
Truthfully?
Roll me a history check.
Well, I mean, I know that, you know, I'm not sure if I should say this out loud in a crowd, because it's like, well, it ain't an iron mine.
He looks around and he sees you looking around. He goes, everyone present here has my explicit trust. Well.
Oh, well, it's whatever. I forget what the True Silver or whatever that stuff is called.
Yes. Their presence concerns me. You say you found some sort of ancient temple there as well.
Yes. And in fact, dig in my bag and carefully, without touching it, I'll bring out one of the blue gems. Like, well, yeah, we found a bunch of these things. Your wizard there may want to study it. I have no idea what these things are.
Make a perception check, or give me an insight check, Fenthwick.
I'm watching people. Can I also do one or give him advantage
sure.
or something?
Whoever wants to roll one can.
All right, I'm going to roll one.
Insight or perception?
Insight. Fenthwick note. Okay, it's not that. You notice that he kind of like gives a little face when you say wizard. I think I would be able to. I could study this a bit. Yes.
I just haven't had quite the time or the resources to really make a full study of it.
If my lord pleases, then find out what you can about it.
You said he makes
I wouldn't touch it. There was just one young man played with these things, and he kind of turned into a monster.
Turned into a monster, you say?
Yes.
That's quite interesting.
Went on a little rampage there in Nestle Rock.
Whoa. He takes a look at it for a second and goes, "This is a dragon gem. Specifically a gem of dragon's blood, my lord." Was quite interested.
Belladin, like, coughs on his own spit. Like, just starts coughing in the background and, like, takes a moment to settle himself.
I found this quite fascinating in my youth. The whole tale of dragons and the ascended wars between the gods and the servants of Valinar. Although I've never seen one in person, it is said that during the wars before time, when Valinar had turned against the other gods, and her lieutenants made war upon them on Elorna, that their injuries in battle and where their blood spilt upon the land, it formed these gems, and they are said to hold the power of these dragons. You said that someone turned into a monster when touching it? Is that...
Quite sure. Yeah, he was carrying it around, I guess, and he transformed.
Just by touching it, that's
Well,
Little
I don't
did-
know if he was doing anything else with it, but as far as I know, he just had it on his person.
Yes, and he takes out another like cloth and like double wraps it.
Of course, there
Ah.
was one of the orcs in the mine actually had one for one of his eyes. He'd like scooped out an eye and put one of these in its place.
That is, there are more of these there in the mines.
It's been so long, I don't remember.
You would, I mean, given your intelligence, Fentwick, you would actually know that, yeah, that's actually what the orcs were mining there. Past the vein of true silver, surrounding this temple were mines filled with, actually along the veins of true silver. It's okay, I'm not going to make it. In game, it hasn't been that long. You would remember this was kind of the beginning of our adventures, but
we plugged the hole. That I
Lord,
remember.
if such a deposit exists and the warbands know of it and are apparently able to harness its powers, that is quite disconcerting. The only instance I've heard that when this was used was in the Second War of Sundering between the elves and the dark elves. And he only knows that because he rolled really well on his check. Another worry to add to my list. It seems for you bring both solutions and problems. It's better to know both, I suppose. Now, do you know anything else of this organization that you seem to have infiltrated that tried to carry out this plot?
Did you
I think
tell
we
them
also
we went into the
uncovered some
marshes?
information about. I think I was a little light on those details.
Yeah, I'd imagine Fenthic wouldn't really want to tell too much about how they.
Oh, my bad.
Just kind of like we did a job for them, and I didn't really say anything else about that. But I seem to recall that, right, about Fort Bellig. Yeah, that there was going to be there was going to be some sort of meeting there in a few weeks or something like that.
Fort Beleg. That is where they're based out of?
I believe so. It's in my other journal.
He kind of gives a look to his advisor. That's an interesting turn of events.
Well, how's that?
Give me a persuasion check with advantage.
Yeah, General Talrig at Fort Bellig, I think.
As he kind of is getting more and more worried with each detail that you guys reveal.
Mr. Persuasion, that's me.
Well, if it's within the legions, that is disconcerting. As I had said, if you are willing, that is an option, as I will have to have someone investigate this matter. If it's not you, then I'll have to assign someone else. Which brings me to my third worry, which I'm not sure how this ties in, but it can't be a coincidence with everything going on. But there is something foul in the Emerald Pine Forest. The Emerald Conclave has lived harmoniously for centuries with the rest of the North Ward here. They predate the kingdom, our kingdom of Ilari at least. I've had increasing reports of no reports, actually, from any of my people that I've sent there. I received word from the magistrate and Count Linnaeus before his demise of the disturbance here in Sugod before the rest of this chaos ensued. Linnaeus was insistent that he be allowed to lead a company or two of men into the Emerald Pine Forest and seek retribution against the Conclave, who he was convinced had turned against us. I was and still am hesitant to simply march and declare war against the Druids there. But I need to know what is going on, as it is in part of the North Ward and part of my responsibility. But as I said, you are not my subjects. You are not mine to command. But if you would agree to take up some of these quests, I would be in your debt. The North Ward would be in your debt. I don't expect an answer right away. There are matters I have to attend to in the city to calm this chaos. The 2 companies that I had been riding with from Ornos should be arriving before nightfall. If you would like to take me up on one of these offers, you can find me at Stonewater Manor. I'll be here for, well, until this mess is sorted out. But if you decide not to, I will still have a writ granted for you all to have access to Chillwind Pass and the north. As you must at least see to your home, Prince Talantha. Unfortunately, I rode here as quickly as I could under pretense of conflict, so I do not have much, but hopefully this can offer some compensation for what you've already accomplished. He nods to Casper, the advisor, who produces a pretty hefty satchel, and he hands it to you, Fenwick.
I thank you. Drop it.
If you open it, you'll see that it's filled with various gems.
When Poppy puts her head down looking at it, the owl also at the same time looks down.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Hand the bag to Poppy. Here.
I would also like to thank you for keeping the magistrate here safe and rescuing her. We do require her services back at Stonewater Manor. I understand you have some concerns. And magistrate, you may return once my company has arrived. I expect your presence. She goes, of course, Your Majesty. If there was nothing else, I should make my way.
Are you making your way
did we-
downtown?
I hate to bring this up. Did we tell you about the army of monsters being led by a beholder that's festering out in the marshes? Did that come up?
I'm sorry, what now?
Nothing but bad news coming.
Yeah, we're just like doom and gloom.
A
Well,
behold-
you see, we kind of ran across in this old ancient elven ruin. We kind of came across this beholder, and he was doing these weird experiments, kind of turning people into like mini beholders. And they had a lot of weapons and armor and stuff. And don't know what they were up to, but didn't look good.
You can add that to the list of options under which you may find my employ. Otherwise, I will arrange for another solution to another problem. And he just kind of, this point, is just like holding his, like, the bridge of his nose, like, I don't know what I did to be cursed to live under such interesting times. But once again, you have the thanks of the North Ward for what you have accomplished already. If you choose to go along your way, know that you will always have my thanks. And should you find your way to Ornost, you will be welcome in my palace.
Do you have a big library?
I have a moderate library. It's nothing compared to the library of the Hexa there, the Temple of the Woven Word, but they have quite an extensive library. The biggest library in the North Ward.
Bentwick, maybe we can find some answers. I mean, you said you
What,
like,
in the library?
yeah, need I mean, not right this second, but eventually.
Oh, I've always wanted to go to the library at Ernost, assuming they'll let me in the door.
I think I might be able to help with that.
He kind of looks at you. While the Hexad and the temples there are technically under the dominion of the Hexad, I'm sure that A recommendation from me should open doors. I see no reason why they shouldn't let you in.
Is the reason they have a big library is because they have 6 heads.
He kind of looks at you. 6 heads?
Yeah, you said hex head.
Hex head. Not head.
Right.
I'll explain it to you later.
All right. Thanks, Sir Melindar. Melindar.
Stop calling me that.
He kind of puts his hood up. It's a deep hood, and kind of you notice that now the cloak kind of covers his body, and also his two guards also kind of do up their cloak so that their armor isn't quite so apparent. And I will make my way to Stonewater Manor once again. I shall be here in Sugod to clear up this mess for at least. And he looks towards Casper. What do you think? A week, Your Highness, at least, I would say, given the administrative duties. Then he kind of rambles off some things. At least the next week, until I can see about the appointment. Maybe Lord Halivar would be interested in resuming his rule here.
Do we pick up the hall passes, or the passes, now, or like before we go, or from you later?
If you wish to have them now, I can have Casper draw them up.
Yeah, I would.
Very well. As I said, the least I can do for what you've done already. Casper and yes, my lord. And Prelate, if you have a space, and she kind of leads him off to a little desk, and he starts writing out a writ, and it's ready for you, my lord. And you see the Duke go over and take his hand, and he kind of whispers into a ring he has on it, and presses it in, and he hands it to you, Hal. If you would.
Thank you. We will do the Duke's bidding. We'll be sure to let him know as soon as Top Hat is done with his. As soon as we're done with Top Hat's thing.
Very well. Just know that there are these matters. I cannot leave them unattended, at least for long. These are grave threats to not just the North Ward, but the kingdom, and must be dealt with. If the threat still is there, and you decide whether it be on the morrow or later, the opportunity still stands.
Thank you. We'll take it all under advisement.
Of course. And then he just kind of gives a nod, and the magistrate and prelate bow.
We bow back.
He makes his way out of the prelate's home.
So who's left in the room?
It is currently the prelate, the magistrate, Marisol, your group, and then Duncan.
Bento, should we take a walk?
Yeah, why don't we take a walk and have a chat?
All right. Walk over to Marisol. We'll return shortly. No, kiss her hand. Like, look around and see what he's watching, and like quickly do it. All right.
Kind of gives a nod, and she's kind of a little bit struck speechless at the craziness that you guys have just discussed for the past however many minutes.
Yeah, it's like, how are you guys still alive?
All right, so you guys kind of group off away from
Temples
the
are
gardens.
nice. Yeah, the temples and the gardens are nice.
You make your way. Well, I'll let you guys. Yep. So you can make your way. There are 6 temples that you can choose.
I will say that.
Well, yeah. What's the fun temple?
That would be the Temple of Leorem.
The Stormlord, whoever that guy is. That's the fun one.
There's the Temple to Jian, which she is the goddess of the storm, as well as all purviews of nature are under her domain.
So I imagine we all point in different directions. Let's go over there, and then Fenberg will like lead us where he wants to go.
I don't care. I'm lost in thought.
So there is the Temple of Lacus, which is kind of more traditional Parthenon style, with a large anvil in the center and kind of lined with weapons along the wall, very ornate weapons. I'll just list off the temples. There's the temple to Azoth, the goddess of skill and chance, patroness of thieves, assassins, and acrobats.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
See, that sounds like a fun temple.
Yeah. Let me.
There's probably like gambling there.
And how fun it is depending on probably what day you go.
Totally.
Yeah. So, there is the Temple of Lacus, the Temple of the Prime Anvil, the Temple of Azoth, which is the Temple of the Honed Edge, the Temple of Merlis, the god of knowledge and magic, which is the Temple of the Woven Word, the Temple of the Evergarden, which is the Temple to Gian, the Temple of the Flowing Heart, which is the Temple to Leorem, god of love and charm, and the Temple of the Eternal, which is the temple to the twin goddess and god of life and death, Rhea and Aria, respectively.
Imagine we'll just follow Fenthwick or Poppy to wherever they want to go.
Assassin,
Wow,
goddess,
wow, that
it
guy.
is then.
Yeah, that guy is really desperate. We could really make a killing here, I think.
By this time, I probably would have finished going through the gems. How much is it all worth? And was there any diamonds?
Roll me a d6.
Big money.
No bounties.
There are 9 diamonds in there.
Holy shit.
You know, I think Fenswick has a good idea because there are 9 diamonds in here, and if he has more, this could be a jackpot.
He might be really willing to pay for any of these things. I mean, I really want to get to the tower, but all these other places are so close by. The Emerald Conclave, this is just probably a few days from here.
If we go to the Conclave, we got to go with the
tower's
pass.
been there. The tower's been there for a while. I don't think it's going to go anywhere, right?
I notice everyone arguing, and I say, "Look, I've already gone to the temple with all the seasons. It's beautiful. We can just walk through it. It'll take a little bit of time, so no matter how much time we need to talk, it'll take a little while because they've got all the seasons represented there. It's beautiful, and there's hardly anybody in there. I was able to sunbathe naked for 2 hours yesterday, just to give you an idea of how secluded it is.
Like you kept your socks on, right? You know what I mean?
No, just my gloves.
You're not going to do that again, right?
That's a new
No,
thing.
You're all here. That would be weird.
I appreciate you wearing all 3 of your gloves.
I just 2. What?
Whatever. Well, if we go to the Conclave, we're going to have a passenger, traveler, a person going with us. Because they're going to end up, I imagine if we go to the Conclave, then we're going to go to the Chillin Pass. And Maris is going to have to go. But if, I'm with you, Fenthwick. I mean, if this place can find places like, and I point to Poppy's dagger, that can help us craft things like that or wield weapons of that nature. I haven't told you guys much, but the crystal blades are coming. And we need things like that to be ready.
Say what?
Hmm?
The crystal blades are a band of orcs, and I assume that's what the Duke was referring to when he said they've all banded under one banner, because the strongest of the orcs, I mean, there were several strong tribes of them, but the crystal blades ruled them all, and I was imprisoned with them for 15 years. We escaped. We sent the shaman and the rest of the group north. The crystal blades were the most aggressive. Not all of the orcs were hostile. I mean, some were actually friends to the elk clan that I belong to. But for one reason or another, they've banded under this banner. I'm going to assume it's the crystal blades. We need more people and more weapons. And he again gestures towards Poppy's blade. More powerful items. And if the tower contains those items, similar to the items you found in the Beholder's place, in the Elven Rune, I think it would be worth our while to go there.
Albar, roll me a history check with advantage.
Alrighty.
Oh my god, it was on the 20.
Okay.
6. So yeah, that's what I think.
So it's hard for me to sort of out of character question here. How far does the Tower of Ambrosius? How much travel time does that look like?
It would take about if you're it depends. If you take the road, it would probably take around 7 to 8 days. Going through the wilderness might be shorter, but then you're not going along the roads that have been made that allow ease of travel, and safety.
You sure it's only about 65 feet?
He just walks over. There it is.
Those are days, right?
I don't know how to make a movable one, but there is a kind of mileage marker on the bottom left, or the map.
Oh, you mean from the map
Yeah.
itself?
Yeah,
It would be
maybe you guys
less.
can make a drawing and then move it.
Like every
From Ernos to here, it took
5 days.
Took 5 days.
So 50 feet on the measuring tool is about 75 miles.
which is 3 days. Because we can do like 25 miles in a day. 24, like normally.
Normally, but through the wilderness might take you longer.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to. Well, I was just looking for a general about how far. It
Yeah.
is.
I mean, you
then
can tell us
straight
it's
off
going to
of-
take us 3 months or...
We can probably go faster by the roads, but maybe if we cut through the wilderness, it might be a little bit faster.
It might be a little faster, but it also is more dangerous because you're in the wilderness.
Yes.
So I think about 7 to 8 days along the road.
Mm.
And I'm thinking like here, and eventually would have to cut through the wilderness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, remind me, as besides having the key, if you guys could jog my memory, aside because we just happen to have the key to the tower, was there a particular thing that we're going there for?
That it belonged to a legendary wizard. I mean, literally legendary.
No, I know that. I'm just wondering if nobody is sending us there, kind of deal.
Yeah, no one's sending us there.
Yeah, we're going there
There's
on
no
our
spe-
own volition.
There's no specific reason to go other than, oh my god, we can get in. It will keep. It probably won't vanish. And the Duke did seem to put some time constraints. He'll only be here in Sugod for another week.
I mean, if you guys decide to go to the Conclave, we can bring the Nightingale with us, and I'm good with that.
And then at the same time,
Well,
Or-
we don't know what's going on up in the Conclave. It doesn't sound like anything good's going on up there. Dragging her
Belladin,
along.
give
might
me
not
a
be-
perception
might not
check.
be all that safe.
Spencer strangely says that out of nowhere. Sorry, I had your token selected.
ding.
Y'all saying some weird shit.
That's so funny.
Belladin, you notice the same old man praying at the same spot to Gian. And he tries to get up and he's a little shaky and he kind of just collapses back down for a moment before trying to regain his composure.
I'm gonna go over to him and help him up. As I walk away though, I'm gonna look back at the group and say, why don't we just agree to do everything and then just do them in the order that we want, right? Like we're doing everything, right? So why don't we just tell the Duke that we're gonna do everything so he knows that we're on the jobs, and I don't know, we accept some initial pay up front and then he sends us payment when we've done things afterwards. Whatever we're doing, we're going to be traveling a lot. So we're really just arguing about the order that we're doing it.
Oh my god, our little boy is growing up.
Well, I understand the order of things. I just didn't have a concept of time. And then he walks over to the old man and
The
says-
literal order of things.
Well, he seems to have a concept of money now, though.
Yes.
Yeah, he gives you the
Learn that
universal
quickly.
symbol of money
Yep.
with his fingers.
And another
So I'm gonna-
innocent soul corrupted.
Yep, I'm gonna go over to the old man and do a medicine check.
Okay, give me a medicine check. He looks exhausted, like he hasn't slept all night.
I'm gonna
Give me an
kneel
insight
down.
check.
Okay.
You notice that he's wearing the exact same clothes and the exact same arrangement. You also notice he looks like he's been like weeping and trying to he's trying to obviously like not do it right now, but you notice that his eyes are bloodshot. There's traces of tears around them.
Belden, does he have an exclamation point or a question mark over his head?
I haven't figured that out yet. Give me a second. I'm gonna hand him like pull a ration out of my pack and say, "Can I help you, Elder?"
Yeah, you can help me to my feet. My body is not once what it was.
I know this is a weird thing to do on an NPC, but I doubt he's afflicted with any of these things. But I'm just gonna see if this helps him at all, for shits and giggles, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
See if I can restore him a little bit. I know he probably isn't poisoned, blinded, deafened, or paralyzed, but see if that helps him a little bit so he can get his breath back and speak.
Counterspell.
Shit.
Roll initiative.
Wow. Things took a big turn.
You cast the spell and he gasps for a moment, and you see him kind of move his knees for a moment, and the pain, it's lessened.
Yeah.
What did you do?
Where I come from, we use nature to help bring back life in places where it's gone. Can I help you?
I haven't felt this young and spry since I can remember. I once worked in the quarry, hauling stones. It's hard work, but it was honest. But it seems to have taken its toll in these older years. There are days when I could barely get out of bed in the morning.
Elder,
That's why.
Elder, I saw you here yesterday. What have you come here to pray for?
Give me a persuasion check with advantage.
Wow, a 12.
That's all right. That's what you needed. You cured him. Well, at least lessened his arthritis. If you had only been here a little sooner, young man, then my Sophie might not have. My Sophie might be here too.
When did she pass?
She did not pass. She's missing.
Calm, Elder. Give me the details. Just give me the facts. How old is she? What were the circumstances of her disappearance?
She's just but a young lass of 18 years. I'm all she has, and she's all I have. Her parents, but may the gods bless their souls, passed on when she was young due to a pestilence that had swept through the poor parts of the city. I raised her, and in my old age and ailments, she has taken care of me. Not but 2 nights ago, the pain was at its worst. I thought I would not be able to move again. I prayed that death would find me. And Sophie realized that the ointment we had gotten from Madame Modine had run out. I told her not to go, that my pain was not worth her safety. I've heard the rumors going around town after on the manor. Foul deeds befall those who travel at night. But she would not hear it. She insisted, and she went to get more ointment. She did not return. I was able to move, even just a little bit. I immediately made my way to the guard, but I was not able to make it the cut to make my petition. So I came here and prayed, and I've been praying since.
I give him a ration so he can eat. I get one of my, because I've got a mess kit. I get some, the cup, pour some water in it so he can drink.
He eats a little bit, not the whole thing. He just takes a few bites, drinks some water. Thank you, young man. It's been a while since anyone's called you young man, even though despite your age, but with the gray hair.
Yeah.
But
Takes an old man to know an old man. Do you know where she went? You said it was towards a poultice maker?
yes, she made her way towards the market district. Madame Maudine's has a shop there where she sells various tinctures and ointments. She's an old acquaintance of my wife's, so she gives me and Sophie a special price. But it was close to sundown, and I feared that it would be dark before Sophie could return.
All right, I'm gonna try and
My
think
fear-
back. Two nights ago was the night when there was still the occupation.
No.
That
Two
was
nights
after
ago,
they
you
already
guys
left?
probably. 2 nights ago, you guys had probably gotten back. That day, gotten back. That was like the trial,
Mm-hmm.
and then the occupation had ended like 12 hours before that.
Okay, so it was after all those creatures had left.
Yeah.
I imagine that the rest of the group isn't that far, and they probably heard most of this. So I'm just gonna give them a look and raise an eyebrow and do like the, "What do you think?" Look.
Poppy, Belladin's looking at you. Or maybe that was Fenthwick.
I'm looking at the whole group.
Thank you, young man. I now have the strength to make my way down again. The slopes are a little steep in these years.
Old one, are you making your way downtown?
I am making my way downtown.
You moving
must-
fast? Faster than you were?
I must petition, try to make a petition of the god again. I'm all she has. And he starts to slowly and feebly try to gather himself, and I thank you, young man, once again. I might not have been able to make it down if you hadn't cured me.
If we're not leaving immediately this night, maybe we can at least spend some time and see if we can help this old one. If it doesn't take all night, then we'll leave first thing in the morning to wherever you want to go, whether that's Ambrosius Tower. Maybe we should have
Sure.
a meeting on where we need to go.
We can spend one more night here, I think.
I look back to Belladin and nod. I mean, if it doesn't take all night, I think we can do it.
No, this was after the occupation had ended. I think it shouldn't take too long.
I mean, we literally spent a couple hours, and it was 4 to 5 days. Or at least it felt like that. Maybe weeks. I mean, I don't remember.
Time is weird. Okay, Elder. We need a description of Sophie and directions to this woman's shop, so that way we can try and track down your missing granddaughter.
Young woman, like I said, of 18 years, yes. Pale blonde hair, green eyes. She has a birthmark, almost a half circle on her neck. Plain clothes. I mean, not much to distinguish us from the rest of the folk down by the canals. That's as best a description as I can give you. Madame Maudine's, you'll find in the market district, closer towards the quarry side. Most people will know it. Madame Maudine's marvelous tinctures.
Have we, as a group, seen any markings on the crazy people that were a half circle?
Roll
You can
me-
say no.
No. It's not a perfect half circle. It's just the closest shape I can think of.
Very good.
Why are you asking these questions, young man?
Just want to make sure it's not anything like, what's the word, Belden? Contagious? Infectious?
Which young man was he talking to?
Belden. Since this old man was talking to Belden
Okay, sorry, I was letting my dog
and
out.
calling him a young man.
Look, if we're gonna find Sophie, we need as much information as possible.
You will help me find my granddaughter?
Go look. As is the way of the world, I cannot make you any promises, Elder. So we will do what we can, and whatever we find, we will let you know. Okay?
That is more than I would expect from a stranger. You have my thanks already for what you've done, and now you plan to help my family more. As I said, she was making her way
Downtown?
to the market
Downtown.
district.
Yeah, we're gonna need to know where you live. You've made it very clear you're poor, so I'm assuming that the DM has some type of story hook for the reward for this quest. So that's why we're gonna take it.
Poppy turns to Belladin and does the universal sign of money.
Not this time, Poppy. Not from what I can tell.
Your hearts.
Chaotic neutral to chaotic good.
Ooh, alignment movement. I love it. Yep. So we can hand wave he gives us the address and then let's go
Yeah,
check.
in the canal district, closer to the docks, which is actually the poorest of the poor neighborhood, right next to the warehouse. It's a rough neighborhood. Yeah.
Maybe we can go into
I
the,
look at the group.
sewers.
No, I don't want to go in the sewers again, please.
Okay.
Let's go and see where this young woman disappeared from. Might be able to ask some of the local flora or fauna if they notice anything strange in the area. Problem is, Stam City has so many people in it. It's gonna be hard to recognize, especially 2 days hence.
Elbar
2
takes
days,
his
that's
money
sun up and
pouch.
down, right? So
and he takes his 24-inch piece of leather that he usually ties his hair back with, and he ties his money pouch on his chest.
nice. I'm gonna take a single gold coin and give it to the old man and say, "Why don't you go get yourself some food and go back home and just rest? We will meet you there after we've done some investigating."
He looks like even more shocked. With what you've done and plan to do, I cannot accept this. I'm the one who should be paying you if I had anything, but
No, it's
I
okay.
cannot accept this.
Well, you're going to, Elder.
Maybe he can pray on our behalf and give us some luck or something.
Yeah, there you go. That's what you can spend your time doing while you wait for our return.
I will pray to Jian more.
After you've
Undoubtedly,
eaten.
the gods. Yes, of course. I've heard what is today? And you tell him the day. I've heard the falafel cart makes their way near the temple district this day. Maybe I'll get some of.
It's Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. That's half off falafel.
I haven't had one in quite some time. But I will pray for you. The gods will surely look favorable on your kind acts.
One can hope.
And he starts slowly, hobbling his way a little bit down the road from the temple district, where you see the falafel cart making its way up.
So one thing that I assume everyone's going to have a passive insight above 10, hopefully. Anyone who has a passive insight above 10, notice that whenever the man spoke about praying to the gods and the gods will look favorably on you, Belladin just kind of gives a polite nod, but he doesn't really put any stock into what the guy says about the gods helping. If anything, and I know I apologize, I basically volunteered everybody for this, but it'll give us enough time to decide what we do next.
A 45-minute walk from the temple district down to the market district. So if you guys want to have that discussion now, you can.
I mean, it's not a big deal. I mean, like Fenthel said, if it doesn't take us all day or all night, we'll take a look. If we don't get any leads, can say I'm sorry and get ready to head out tomorrow to wherever Fenthwick wants to go. Or Sir Marindal. Fenthwick. Mr. Top Hat.
I think he just wishes to be known as Fenthwick.
I wasn't sure because the last time he was like mentioned as Sir Marinthal, all the guys in the Count's place were like, "Oh, we're sorry, Sir Marinthal." Like it was super important. I mean, he's super important to me. I just want to make sure that is understood.
That was what we call a lie. See, I was lying about who I was.
You're not Sir Marinthal. I mean, it worked.
It did work. Because see, if I walked up to the guards and just told them I wanted him, well, they wouldn't have let me in.
So if I call you Sir Marinthal whenever you want to get let in, that'll probably help Marindal.
Not really.
Marindal?
At that point, I think that's kind of like out of the bag.
Okay. Do you want me to call you Fen? Like
if I known it was going to be permanent, yeah. Just my regular name will be fine.
Sir Fen of the Marshes.
Yeah, even Top Hat. Even Top Hat is better than that other thing. If I known it was going to be permanent, I would have chosen better.
Okay. Understood. Thanks, Fenthwick.
All right, now that the whole name
You keep it up, I'll start calling you
Prince.
His princeliness or Prince Valiant or something.
That's okay.
Prince guy.
All right. Let's head on into the
Guy.
Purple Rain.
Prince Guy is a different campaign.
Mm-hmm.
I see what you did there. It's funny.
So eventually, you guys start making your way.
Making our way. I use as soon as we get away from the temple.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've become paranoid. Let me do this. I pass without trace us. So just as we're walking,
Nice.
I don't want to leave any tracks because I know we're trying to hide people and stuff. So I don't want to lead people back to where we're going or whatever. So basically every hour, because this is an at-will thing with the staff, I'm just going to keep on ringing this up so we don't leave any tracks. And it's hard for people to follow us.
Everyone give me stealth checks, please.
Nice. 29 for Halbar is what I have.
34 for Poppy.
31.
Yeah, you guys, you notice, with your passive perception, Belladin, there are more people out today than the previous day. Things are starting to seem like they're getting back to normal. You know, the word is starting to spread that the Duke's men are almost here.
Right.
A few hours away. People are feeling a little more comfortable going out. You know, there are actually some children, poor-looking children, kind of running around and playing compared to the other day. But yeah, you guys feel pretty confident. And I mean, it's not like you guys are trying to walk unnoticed. You can't stealth in the middle of the day and down the street, but you're trying to you're making your way down more, like you're taking a few different routes, you're making trying to make sure that you're not being followed is more kind of the stealth thing that you guys are doing rather than being completely unseen. But you feel
unnoticed.
Yeah, you unnoticed, and you feel pretty confident. You're like, Halbar, maybe you should pull your cloak in a little bit and not show that giant axe as much,
Yep.
Fenthwick
I can do that.
covers his little more showy robes, and you guys eventually make your way to the market district, and eventually find yourselves list tinctures.
All right, Belden. Which
Belden.
way?
Well, do we want to? I think we should go in. Look, I don't really like talking to people. It was like pulling teeth with that.
That's
old
okay.
man.
You can
I did it.
you can point us the right way, and little one here or Fenthwick. I mean, distinguish not Sir Fenthwick, but Sir Fen. He's pretty good with
Okay.
words.
All right. Well,
Both of
I
them.
think the first thing we should go in there and see if she ever even made it.
What do you say, little one? Can you follow you? Maybe you can ask him that. No? What about you, Fenthwick? Maybe we can follow you. All right, follow me.
All right, Halbar, you lead the group. through the doors, and there are various plants and bottles and oils all along. Very similar to another shop you've been to in Duneshire. Not a little different, a little more flowers. Not quite as organized, a little more kind of flowing naturally. A little bell rings, ding, and a elder woman, gray hair, still striking blue eyes, comes in with moderate, nothing flashy, but well-made white and blue accented robes. Yes, may I help you?
Your eyes are beautiful. They remind me of my cousin from the north. Excuse me.
Give me a persuasion check.
Did you see a young woman, and I say, who wore these, and I gesture to Belladin. Tell her what she was wearing.
Do you want to make the persuasion check while I say that?
Yep.
Pale blonde hair, green eyes, birthmark on her neck, a little half circle. She's wearing plain clothes. She's 18 years old. She goes by the name of Sophie. Her grandfather is worried about her. She's been missing for about 2 days. Last he seen her, she was leaving his residence and coming here to purchase some more medicine for him. He said you were a friend of his wife before she passed.
I am rolling my persuasion.
Whoa.
I'm gonna
That's
use luck.
Mm-hmm.
Same.
Yeah, so you take the 17?
Yes.
nice.
Okay, I'll allow that, yeah.
Thank you.
At first, she kind of hardens her glance, thinking that, you're just trying to, schmooze her to try to like, some kind of con,
Oh, or like get a deal.
Yeah, and she hardens her glance, having heard, every line, but she seems to think that you're being actually genuine and your words are true, and her expression softens after a moment, and then she listens to Belladin's words. Young Sophie.
Hmm.
Yes, she was here 2 nights ago. I gave her usual order for Gregory's pain. She seemed to be in a little bit of a hurry, but I mean,
Right. Yeah, he said he was in a great amount of pain. What was the medicine for, and what was the medicine?
Is that your friend Connor McGregory? I heard he got beat up a few weeks ago.
yes, that's why he needs the ointment. Special mixture of mine, just a tincture to help ease the pain and the stiffness in his joints. Years of hard labor working in the quarry. I've seen it many times. The joints stiffen in old age, and it's a great pain. That have great pain even in the slightest of movements.
Right. He takes out a gold. Belladin takes out a gold coin and puts it on the counter. I did some magical healing to him when I found him in the temple, so he may not need your services as much. This is to help soften the loss in business. Do you know which way she would go after she had purchased the medicine?
She smiles at you, doesn't take the coin. Thank you, my friend. I don't fulfill Gregory and Sophie's order for money. I actually take quite a bit of a loss with every order, but Leah was an old friend of mine, and, well, we look out for each other here in Sugod. At least some of us do.
You mean Princess Leia?
She was a princess to some, especially to Gregory. But I'd imagine she would go straight home. She grabbed her order. I told her to head straight home. I had other business to attend to in the shop.
I've heard tales in cities such as these of there being sections of the city, especially in places where there have less, that there might be groups of people who try and take from others and steal, thieves and cutthroats and such. Is there any areas between here and her home that she would need to worry about such a thing? Anything we should check?
I mean, the canals, the docks themselves are the more rough part of town, but that's her home. She would know what areas to specifically to avoid, what groups to avoid. But these ones, even those groups were not roaming the streets those nights. There was
the day that the occupation ended.
there was fear and tales of even worse creatures than bandits and cutthroats.
Oh, 10.
10. Okay.
All right. Well, if there's anything else that you can tell us before we begin a search, anything that you can think of, please try and think on that. Do you have any supplies for making healing potions? I do a little bit of herbalism myself.
Healing potions? Yes, I have supplies for that.
Yes, I'd like to purchase however much you have. I can make some while we're on the road.
It might be a little bit. My helper Dennis is getting some more supplies from our stockroom across the alley. I can tell him to start making a few more trips to gather what you need. This space is a little tight here, so
How old is Dennis?
Yeah, can we speak to him?
of course he should be coming in right about now.
How old is he?
He's probably like in his mid to late 20s.
Okay.
Bigger guy, carrying a large crate, and just doesn't just goes and starts walking to the back. Dennis, after you've dropped off those supplies, before you go back and get the rest, there's some customers here who would like to speak with you. They're friends of Gregory and Sophie.
I'm going to be inciting the shit out of both of these people the whole time. So as soon as she mentions those names, I'm going to be checking his face for any reaction.
Roll me insight check, please.
Of course, it's a 3. 11.
11. Dennis, he had a blank expression when he came in. You gather he's not the most expressive person. And Modine, as far as you can tell, there's no deceit or ill will behind her words or expression. Yeah, what can I do for you?
We're trying to find out where Sophie might have gone to in the last 2 days. Do you remember seeing her where she left? Were you here working that night?
Yeah, I'm working here every day and every night since Modine took me in. Yeah, I think when was this? 2 nights
days
ago?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing Sophie. She's just in here a lot, getting that ointment for her granddad. 2 nights ago.
Insight check on
Give me an
him
insight check.
to see if he's like BSing.
Man,
I'm gonna use.
or does that 11 carry over?
I'm gonna use lucky if I roll shitty, so don't answer.
Okay.
I'll take the 18.
Nice.
All right.
Well, Gregory, are
Dennis.
you texting me? Dennis. Okay, Dennis. I see you look at me like that. I know I'm a big guy. What else can you tell me about this young lady's visit?
I love bad cop Hal over here.
To intimidate him?
I will try to intimidate him based on his reaction to me.
Roll me an intimidation check.
I will use lucky if I roll shitty. I will use lucky.
Damn.
I will choose the 11.
I don't really know what
It's an
you're
accident.
talking about. I told you I saw her, but I was stalking. Coming
You were
back.
stalking
You were
her?
stalking her?
She left the shop. I didn't really see where she went after that.
Does anybody you know see where she went?
Yeah, which direction did she walk? I look toward. Which direction does she normally walk away from the shop? Does she go out and turn left, turn right, go straight? And then I look at Dennis. Which way did you go that night?
Better tell him, Greg.
Give me a percentile die.
Did you just say Greg?
Yes.
Better tell him Greg. 58.
You feel the blessing of the gods wash down on you. You get to roll it again.
Roll a D100.
What?
Yep.
Random
More, be
tables. Oh
more.
my
Nope,
god.
it's less. It's less. 39.
39. At the same time, he says right and she says left. You actually needed less on that, so
Oh, shit. Amazing. Okay, so normally she goes one way, but she went the other way.
They said two different things.
Two different
Right.
things.
yeah.
Two different things, right? So she normally goes left, she said?
No.
Uh-huh.
The lady said she went left, and he said she went right.
Exactly, right? So, but I asked her a different question. I said, which way does she normally go home? Does she leave the store and go left normally to go home? And then I asked him, which way did she go 2 days ago? Because he saw her leave.
Yeah, I meant left.
You meant left?
Yep. Sorry, I'm not the brightest. I get a little mixed up sometimes. She went left.
Can I insight that since this is like a totally
I don't,
different thing?
I don't believe that. No.
You can incite it, yeah.
Hal doesn't believe it either, based on his
Yeah.
earlier
I'm not even
information.
going to
One.
incite it. I don't believe it, period.
He is lying.
Yeah. That's what I got from your roleplay. I just didn't want to insinuate. I wanted to play out the character. But man, yeah, okay, cool.
So I'll hear all this going on,
Mm-hmm.
and in the background, I just to kind of ratchet up the pressure on this guy a little bit, I will cast Thaumaturgy and cause harmless tremors in the ground for the next minute.
Okay.
But they're noticeable.
Oh,
Just be like, young man, you're trying our patience.
give
And
me.
Poppy
Go ahead, Poppy.
will jump on the counter,
Mhm.
because I assume he's standing behind the counter,
Yeah.
and then get in his face and say, "Look, you little shit. If you're telling us, if you're not telling us the truth, I'm gonna come back for you."
Roll me an intimidation check with advantage.
Yeah, and I also use Druidcraft to make it so that way, like, the wind is, like, blowing up behind her, so her hair is, like, coming up. She looks all intense.
Can I use persuasion?
Druid Graph. Prestidigitation for hippies.
Yep.
You're really trying to intimidate him with a threat, though.
Yeah, just tell me if I. Yeah, just say. It's okay
Yeah.
to say no.
I would say intimidation. You guys went the strong arm way, so
Oh, wait a minute.
but you have advantage, so
Oh, it was almost a natural 20. Oh, my God.
I like the way the animations screw with you on the dice.
Yeah.
yeah.
It, like,
Those were-
purposely
that's
rolls
one.
over. Yeah, rolls over the natural 20 every time.
14. He kind of looks like a little bit shaking his head. Look, please, I don't want to get hurt.
Is your bonus the same for intimidation? Because that was insight.
Oh yeah,
crap.
we'll
No, just add
Sorry.
another +1. Then it would be a 15.
15?
15.
Yeah. Please, I don't want to get hurt. I don't.
By the way, the owl looks equally as angry.
Yeah, it's the owl is helping. He's like the owl's like in his face too, like neck extended, like feathers ruffled.
Yep.
Like-
Feathers all up, all roughed
Yep.
up. Yep.
The owl's wings look like they're on its waist.
Uh huh. Please, I don't want to get hurt.
Then tell us what happened.
He looks towards Maudine and, well, you won't say it was me, right?
I don't even remember your name, Gregory.
I saw her talking to Ernest when she was trying to go home, and Ernest stopped her to talk.
Ernest?
Maudine's kind of eyes kind of narrow, and
You mean like
what does that look?
the capital? Ernest?
That's Ornost, my dear. This is Ernest.
Ernest
Like Ernest
goes to
like
Hollywood.
Ernest can yes.
Ernest scared stupid.
Ernest goes to the hospital.
No, Ernest Warsh, son of Emil Warsh, wealthy merchant around here. Little shit, he's bullied Dennis here since they were young. Thinks because his dad has a little bit of money that he can do what he wants.
Anyways, go on. Tell us what happened.
Ernest, before he's never really given the time to anyone like me or Sophie, and unless he was bullying me. But this time, he stopped to talk to her, and I don't know what he was saying, but she was laughing and doing that thing with her hair. And then Amadine pipes up, and unfortunately, he is quite the handsome young man. If only his personality and manners matched. I had to go get the rest of the stocks, so Ernest, he's rich and he's handsome. So if Sophie, wanted to talk to him, I don't blame her. And he looks kind of, you guys are able to read him a little more. He looks kind of like a little bit down about that. When I left this came out again with the supplies, that they were both gone. I just assumed she went home.
We're gonna need.
And what did you mean when you said it wasn't me? You didn't do anything, did you?
No, but you guys, you came in here and the big guy started making it out, and it seemed like you guys thought I did something to Sophie, and people think just because of my size that I'm that I'm violent, but I don't even like killing flies.
Poppy's face turns back into that cheerful look and says, "No, of course not. We just wanted to know the truth. That's all. Because we want her back safe. Don't you?"
I'm sorry. I didn't tell you sooner, but I didn't want the Wersh family there. They own most of this block. I didn't want to get Modine in trouble or picked on again.
Don't worry. We'll make sure.
I hope nothing happened to her because I didn't say anything. And he starts to tear up.
Can I insight him? Or
Yeah,
do I believe him?
I'll say going on with your insight from before, yeah. He's being completely truthful now. There's nothing.
Okay.
You see that, you notice now that the kind of his stoic demeanor and before was more kind of a defense mechanism, and that has now dropped, and big teddy bear.
Well, look. If something bad has happened to her, and it was them, then at the very least, you were involved to save her.
This time, give me a persuasion check with advantage. I didn't think of it that way. Kind of like a hero in the Bard stories, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can tell you where Ernest lives, if that'll help.
What, away from the home, or is that where he normally is?
His dad's usually away on business,
Okay.
usually either in the capital or, their business is here, but they make enough money where Ernest kind of has free reign here.
Okay, it looks like we know where to go, guys. And Dennis, like I said, if that's true, we'll make sure she knows.
Please find her alive.
Belladin reaches into his pouch, pulls out another 19 gold pieces, puts them next to the one that's already on the counter. This is to help cover the cost of the generosity you've shown Gregory and Sophie, and to hopefully cover some of any future costs that they may need in the future after we get her back.
Muddy just kind of nods and goes, "Hurry, please."
All right, we get out of there. Storm some rich kid's mansion.
Dennis,
Don't burn it down.
Oh shit! I've got wall of fire prepared. Are you sure?
Dennis kind of points you, brings you about half a block. He walks you towards the Manor District, which is a couple blocks down. As this part of the Manor District is kind of the edge of where the quarry and the Market District meet. Not the most high-end houses, but of the Manor District, but still well off. I really don't want to go all the way in case, But
no, that's fine.
You make a right here, and it's four houses down. You can't miss it. It's got the teal tile roof. It's a little bit gaudy in my opinion.
Take care of yourself, and remind the madam that I'll be coming back to get those supplies for making healing potions.
And you guys make your way.
I'll say, Gregory, don't be a menace. And I'll push him off to where he's supposed to go.
He
Soft
looks a
nudge.
little confused.
Society?
They're
Just call me
weird.
Gregory. And then he's just kind of like confused and like he just nods, not even like gonna correct you.
So we're
What would you
we're
like to
burning
do?
down this building, right?
So it's
Well,
a
she
We're
might
gonna
be
s-
inside. She'll
We're gonna
probably be
sneak
good
in,
at
right,
just-
Poppy? As the real rogues we are.
Oh yeah, if it's
I forgot about that. I totally
Or-
forgot about that.
forgot you were a rogue.
no. I forgot that Palbar's a rogue too.
Halbar also thinks he's a rogue.
Oh wow, I didn't know
So
that.
like
That's
Halbar,
funny.
as Halbar's been teaching me how to like swords and stuff, I forgot that I'm the same way. I teach him constantly teaching him how to sneak and stuff. That's why he has a tendency to run off and go to houses and
Wow,
stuff.
it's all starting to make sense.
Yeah, after the stream, well, you can tell you the adventure of the beginning of our campaign.
That's awesome.
And why we're
But,
not quite welcome in Nestle Rock anymore.
But Poppy nods with agreement to Halbar.
So yeah, you guys reach the house, and these houses they don't have quite the same sprawl as some of the finer manors in Sugod. They're a little closer together, so no like sprawling gardens or anything. So there is a main door, large windows with the curtains drawn.
Real quick,
Mhm.
I will send my owl use its sight to just do a lay of the land, especially the back door, front door, things like that.
Okay.
As the owl flies away, I'm gonna look over at Poppy and be like, "When did you get a?"
At this point, Poppy's already on the
Yeah.
the owl's
Yeah.
perspective.
Yeah, so she
Nice.
can't hear you.
And then I just kind of shake my head like, "Oh yeah, okay."
You know, druids can have familiars now too.
Oh, I know. It would only last for 4 hours. Belladin says in game.
Yes, but no material components.
It is nice.
Give me a perception check with
The owl's perception check.
yes.
Get it here. I wonder how this is gonna work.
I imagine I like pick Poppy up on my shoulders. All right, go.
Nice. Sorry, I did that in the mic.
I wish it didn't show the name.
I am not calling my owl who.
Who are you?
we need to. You know
I
what?
was waiting for somebody to point at it and be like, "What's that?" And then Poppy to respond with, "Who?"
Ooh.
See, I was tempted just to use speak with animals at some point and just be like, "So, what are you doing here?" To the owl, not you.
So you fly back. There's a little bit of a back kind of yard. Not much. It's more of, a little place, little patio, small little patch of garden. There is a back door with a back window, curtains closed as well.
If it's within 30 feet of us, it's like a
So
halo around me.
So I described that to everybody, and that the curtains were closed everywhere, etc., etc. Again, not paying attention to I make no mention of the thing staying on my head.
Yeah. Can you hear us again? Okay. Was there like a balcony? Like an upstairs, an easy way for us to get in? I can change and ferry us over, but do we just want to
Was
go
there?
in through the back door?
Or
Give me
somebody could go through the back door, walk through, and open the front door.
This is true.
I mean, why are we going in the house?
She's probably in there.
I mean, maybe your owl can do a once around and see if there's like anything out of place.
Why don't you guys just knock?
Belladin points at Poppy. That's exactly what I was going to suggest. And then maybe one or two of you can go around to the back door while they're focused on the front.
But before you do that, here, for the first time, Poppy actually takes the owl and looks over to Fenswick and like offers it. You mind looking after him?
You can just pop him away, you know.
Oh,
He'll be
That's a good
totally
idea.
safe.
sorry, I'm new. It's new. Poof.
Read
goes,
the manual next time.
Damn.
And then she mumbles something else, and then you see her take out a piece of gum. Like I said, answer the door. I mean, knock on the door. And she chews on it, then disappears.
Nice.
Well, all right, let's go knock on the damn door. I will go around to the front.
But before they knock, I make sure I hide at the side of the door, the side that's gonna open.
Give me a stealth check with advantage.
Is anybody going to the back door?
I thought Poppy was.
20. Well, halfling luck I think came in. So
Mhm.
it's,
Yeah.
27 plus.
That was cool.
It's 37 because I believe we still have
Pass without a trace. Yep.
pass without a trace.
Only a 37.
Yeah. Only
think it-
37.
I think it is 27 because it says stealth plus 10.
Right, but
Yeah,
it's the
I
plus
have
heard
one 'cause-
that.
I have a plus 10 on my stealth.
Wow. 37.
Yeah. All right, guys. That's the end of Poppy for the campaign. No one can find her ever again.
Yeah, Poppy just disappears into the fabric of the universe.
Yeah.
I
So
guess,
Poppy
I
hides.
guess
What are you guys doing?
us three walk up to the door. So are we? Jesus.
So I want to be sure.
so-
Poppy's going to the back door.
No, Poppy's staying up front near where the front door opens from, not the hinge side, but the opening side.
So she could
Okay, I
sneak
was
in without
confused.
having to unlock anything.
I will go to the
Yeah,
back
sorry, I was
door.
confused. Then I will look at Finthwick and say, "So what are we? Are we selling something? Are we? Wait. One villager told me that a great way to get rich people to talk to you is to tell them that they are inheriting more money. Did we tell them that like their aunt died or some second aunt that they don't know about died and they've gotten more money?
It could be like I don't know, health inspectors, neighbors complaining about a terrible smell coming out of the house,
Oh, that's good.
and just barge right in. You don't ask, you just move in.
That's a good point. Okay.
Hal, as you
Uh,
look around to try to get to the side, there's not enough. There's literally like 6 inches between homes here. Like there's like a row of homes, you know.
Yep.
So you can't get to the back of the house immediately here.
oh, you'd have to like go
You have to
around
search-
for an hour.
Wait a second.
Search, yeah, for a way.
I'm going to climb over.
I knew that.
What, does Hal also think he's Spider-Man?
Yes.
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 That's amazing.
Remembering I jumped the fence before, I will try to climb over the house.
This is bringing back memories.
So you're gonna try to climb up from the roof of the house, right?
Yeah, I'll try to climb over to the back. However, I
So
think is the
thankful we
most
have passed without a trace
best
on
matter.
So someone's
It's-
not going to notice the huge warrior climbing up the side of the building.
Is he close enough to you though for that?
No.
For
If he's
part of it,
climbing up, if he's climbing up the front of the house, then he's still next to us.
but not eventually. So the house, I would say, is probably a good to get to the front of the part of the roof. It's a good 60 feet.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
And it gets high. It gets higher. That's just the entryway.
Yeah, I'll move to the side
Well,
and
he's
see
got
if
it
there's
for half of it.
between I'll listen for dogs and then just try to jump over the back.
There's
The
not
houses
enough
are
room between the
super
buildings
close
for
to
you
each other,
go to
right?
the back. Yeah.
The houses are super 6 inches apart. You'd have to go
Yeah.
and search for an alleyway
It's like
to
a
possibly go to the back alley.
it's like a 2 or 3 story London style loft where everything's super
Yeah.
cramped together and you climb over. I'm not gonna go around. I'm gonna try to climb over.
Climb over the house. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Give me an athletics check.
That's
18.
no, it's 14 because I don't have advantage unless I'm raging.
Okay. 14. All right. You start to make your way up, and you don't make it all the way to the top yet. I'll say you can get.
Okay.
Are you guys waiting for Hal to get all the way up, or?
I mean, if anything, it would distract from the giant man climbing up the front of the building. So maybe we should just knock.
You don't knock, you pound. We just pound on the door.
Okay. I cast Shillelagh on my staff and then I hit the door.
Okay, and Hal, also give me a. I assume you're trying to also. Well, you can't sneakily climb up the side of a building.
All right, so I hit the door for 18 and I do 15 points of damage.
Okay, the heavy wood starts to splinter. It's pretty thick door, so it's not like you're gonna break through it easily. But the your side starts to splinter upon impact, and a loud thud. You hear it echo throughout the neighborhood. Actually,
I look at Fenthwick. Oh, we'll just wait. That should get them to show up.
after about 2 minutes, the door creaks open an inch, and you see like the sliver of a face. Can I help you?
Yeah, who are you?
Mr. Warsh, is it?
No, Master Warsh is currently indisposed. He's having a private dinner party.
What time
Oh,
is
we're
it?
gonna-
Is it dinner time? Hold on, DM. Is it dinner time?
It is not.
Okay, fuck this guy.
It is probably like 3 p.m.
I look at Fenthwick. We're health inspectors.
Yeah, we've had complaints. Terrible smell coming from the building. Gonna have to come in and inspect. Open the door.
Make a deception check.
This ought to go well.
Yeah, I'm not good.
Let's go.
Oh my-
1 moment, please. I must undo the locks. And the door closes.
I can't believe that worked.
I'm continuing to climb over the house.
All right, give me another athletics check.
The next one was 18, unless you want me to roll again.
Yeah, make one more.
All right. That is a 26 with a natural 20.
All right,
Oh, shit.
you make it. You are on now the roof, and you have kind of free movement along the roof. I'm not even gonna make. There's another climb, but with that natural 20,
I'm gonna
you're
watch,
able to climb that.
Like the back door. Like lay down, belly down, and like look.
It's really funny that we have Batman in our party. I didn't know that.
After a moment, actually it's like a minute. It's like 2 minutes. The door opens again. My apologies. We had new locks installed. We welcome any city officials, especially in these trying times. Come in. What is exactly you must inspect?
Oh, ignore that.
I just gotta go room to room, see where the smell's coming from. You know, it's probably coming up from the sewers. You never know. And I mean, I just barged right past him like I belong there. There's even not even a question of whether I'm going where I want to go.
And Poppy will follow right behind Fencewick.
If I out of my bag, I will pull the work contract for the city of Duneshire, which I still have, which looks very official, and I'll just randomly wave it in his face, but not enough so that he can see what it says.
Of course, as I said, Master Warsh is having a dinner party for some friends.
Well, we'll just have to start there. Where's his lordship at?
So, like, while this conversation is happening, I need the lay of the area so I can sneak off.
Okay, so immediately enter. There is the kind of foyer. To the right, there's a small little study, waiting room, and then a long hallway, and goes to a door. And there is a set of stairs going up, on the right side of the hallway.
I guess I'll listen. Well, first of all, before I start sneaking off, I listen intently. For anything abnormal, for anything abnormal, especially the dinner party.
Give me a perception check.
That's still up. I'm putting that on the screen just to remind.
Yep.
I mean, not that he needs it with the 37.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
20. You hear a little bit of a commotion coming down from the hallway at the end of that long hallway on the first kind of ground floor. You don't really hear much else.
I will go to that hallway then.
Okay. Give me another stealth check as you... The first one was just to hide at the doorway, and now you are moving. Still at advantage because you are invisible.
Actually, the invisibility doesn't necessarily give me advantage. It just lets me do it. It just lets me do it.
Hide
Out in the open.
Yeah.
It's still a 36.
Yep.
If you're within 30 feet of me.
Yeah, the hallway goes down maybe like 15 feet.
Only a 36, Richard.
Yeah, only 36. Okay. We'll get to you in a second, Poppy. Halbar, you are watching the back door. There is no movement.
Laying on the back door, like waiting. I anticipate like if somebody like I'm laying on my belly looking at the back door waiting for somebody to come out, and if somebody anybody comes out the back door like they're looking like they're ready to flee, I'm going to jump off the roof and try to tackle them.
Okay.
Oh my God! How is that bucket of water you put on the top of a door, with it like wedged a certain way, so when someone pushes it open, it falls on them? That's amazing.
Fentwick and Belladin, what are you doing?
I'm just gonna be following in Fentek's wake. He's really taken to this whole inspector thing.
We're just walking down the hallway, pushing doors open, walking into rooms.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I miss the door on my side, I'm
poking into every corner.
Yep.
The party is this way, please. And he points to the stairs. It goes up a level.
As we're going up the stairs, I'm gonna use, since he's in front of us, I'm gonna use the druidcraft to make the smell of like a skunk again, but have it be in front of us, so he walks into it first, and then we walk into it, and then I'm gonna comment, "That's the smell. It's definitely coming from this direction."
Oh, dear God.
Yeah, we need
What
to
kind
find
of
the source of it.
Yeah, what kind of party you having up there, pal?
I assure you this was not here a moment ago. So he leads you up now and through the stairs, and there's now kind of another larger study here and another hallway leading past that. There's like a study, like a small kind of wash, room area with like basins of water, chamber pot, that kind of thing. He leads you to a hallway going down to the left where there's two kind of what look like spare bedroom. Hallway down, which leads to double doors, says the main dining area is here. If this is what you wish to inspect, yes.
If we don't find the source here, we're gonna have to look elsewhere in the building. So please don't go too far.
Of course. And opens the double doors. It's a large hall with a long table in the stretch of it, with like almost, I would say, around 8 chairs on each side, and then chairs at either end. A couple statues, couple gaudy looking side tables, some display cases on opposite corners, and then on the other opposite corner there's like wine racks. And inside you see around 4 people seated at random. They're at like different spots on the table and just kind of sitting there.
I scanned the room looking for Sophie.
Give me a perception check. Both of you guys can if you want.
Oh my God! It was on a 1.
I like how it kind of rolled, kind of stopped and then rolled.
Yeah, that messed me up.
Yeah.
That messed me up. 18.
Fentwick, you're kind of getting into this whole inspector thing. Like, you're like, I need to see this wine rack. I need to inspect here. And you're like getting into the whole act. Like, you're like kind of getting swept up in the fact that it worked. And you're like completely hamming it up now. So you're not actually looking as well as you would have otherwise. Belladin, you glance over the table. Mostly young people, probably early 20s, finely dressed. A couple men, a couple women. You look at their necks. There doesn't appear to be anyone who fits Sophie's description. No one has blonde hair. You do notice they are all wearing a similar cloak.
Oh, this is some fucking cultish shit. Sorry, that was Jordan, not Belladin.
You also notice there is no food on the table.
I look at Fentwick.
Do you want
I'm just gonna give Fentwick a look, and the look was meant to be like, "Hey, this is clearly bullshit. Let's dance. Let's turn it on." And then I noticed that he's like, "No, you need to open up this cabinet, and it's in here. I can smell it." And I'm like, "Oh shit, he's in too deep."
Yeah. All right, Poppy, you make your way. You go through the swinging kind of double doors into a large kitchen with a hallway leading down the side, and you can see a window to the back door. And there's what appear to be 2 kind of servants running around the kitchen hurriedly, grabbing pots and different ingredients and everything. Yeah, it appears that they are cooking. Or starting.
I don't like the way you said that. I don't like the way you said it.
Roll me an insight check, Pop.
I don't like the way you said that at all. Oh, I was on that 19. It really does mess with you.
10. Yeah, I mean they're hurriedly grabbing just ingredients. You see one like Actually, give me a perception check too.
Oh, so he's looking at the kitchen staff?
Yeah.
Oh, they're pretending to cook really quick. Oh, wow.
Oh, that sucks.
You hear like one kind of you hear them one like lean over and like whisper and look upstairs and like whisper again, but you can't hear what they're saying.
So I'm in the hallway, and then I'm passing the kitchen, right?
No, you went into the kitchen because the hallway leads only to the kitchen, and then there's another hallway coming from the kitchen. You can see the hallway, but there's like it's kind of like swinging salon doors, you know. So you're able to see that there's another hallway to the left of the kitchen, and then there's the back of the house at the end of the kitchen. You can see.
The back door.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I will try to tiptoe my way through. And is this the noise that I was hearing?
Yeah, this is the clamor of them like grabbing pots and grabbing ingredients and chopping and stoking the fire.
The other hallway. Which direction does that go?
It goes to the kind of the left, to the west of the house. What you saw coming in was only like the east part of the house would be like the entry foyer and the small entry study and waiting room. And then there was the stairwell going up and then this hallway going to the kitchen. And then you imagine that this left hallway goes to the rest of the ground floor.
I want to watch him for like another 30 seconds just to see if what they're doing makes sense to me. Like if they're really cooking, you know what I mean?
You can roll me another insight check.
Nice.
Nice. The DC was higher this time because it's your second time. But staying a little more time and while you're no chef, but you know a guy.
No, remember my families they're pie makers.
Yeah, exactly. You know a guy. Let me have my joke, damn it.
You know a guy.
Yeah, you notice that while they're making like some kind of soup, but they're not really paying attention to what they're throwing in. And you can tell that this is all just started. Water's not boiling. They just stoked the fire.
So they really are cooking.
They really
They're
are
not-
cooking,
But
They're
before.
like in a hurry.
but
Yeah.
it's like they just started. And they're not really, it's not like they have a plan, they're just like, you see them kind of looking about and they're just grabbing random shit.
Interesting. Okay, I'll try to make my way to the other hallway, I guess.
Give me another stealth check. Oh, so you do not have Pass Without a Trace anymore.
Unfortunately, no. We're too far apart.
Yeah.
Oh,
Still a 24. You are good. You make your way down this hallway, and it appears to be this is like the servant quarters side of the house. You have like the servants' quarters, like a laundry room, kind of like with giant basins.
And during this time, I'll do a. You might want to go back to the other guys because now I'm searching for any secret doors or anything out of the ordinary.
Okay. Halbar, give me a perception check
All right.
as you are actively looking down in the back.
19.
Hell yeah.
19. All right, we'll keep that for now. But you do notice there is what appears to be a cellar door near the side on the outside here.
Oh,
Okay.
The most beautiful 2 words in the English language, according to Donnie Darko.
All right, back to Fenwick and Belladin. What are you guys doing?
I try and get Fenthwick's attention and just like basically do like a look at this bullshit thing.
Yes, I see what you're saying.
Roll me another deception check, Fenwick. As you guys are saying that you're inspecting.
There it is. There it is.
This is when it goes down.
I'm glad we split the party into 3 separate groups. That was definitely a good decision. Never backfires for any adventuring group in D&D.
You should. You're like a nature wizard, right? Call a bunch of rats or something.
Wow. Wow, I wish I didn't roll that in secret.
Was
Guess
it
guys.
You can right click it and reveal to everyone.
Yes. That's amazing.
So you're going around Fenwick as Belladin was eyeing, and you're like, I need to inspect this and show me that. And one of them Excuse me, inspectors. I have to use the washroom. And goes and gets up to leave.
No.
Oh, that'd be very dangerous. You know, washrooms. Be surprised how many accidents happen in washrooms.
Yeah, we haven't figured out where the smell's coming from. This might actually be a natural gas leak. We don't want any explosions.
I'm afraid that this is quite urgent. I have sensitive bowels, and as you say, this smell, it's irritating them quite a bit. And he starts to walk towards.
Where's the doorway compared to us? Is the door like on the other side of the room? Does he have to walk past us the way we came in? Like which way is he going?
Yeah, he would have to walk past you, Belladin, as Fentwick is on the other side of the table now.
Okay. As he comes up to me, shit, do I go crazy and just wild shape into something big? Or what do you think? Black bear? Brown bear? Crocodile? Giant spider? What do we feel like?
Jeez.
And spider is freaking scary.
Or do I just symbiotic entity and just look insane as I get all fungal?
You do you, man.
Okay. I'm just gonna stand in front of him and say, "We really need everyone to stay together. We don't know how dangerous this is." And as an action, as I say this, I take off my shield and buckle it to my arm.
Let's roll initiative.
Shit. Okay. So the way we came in is like up here?
Yeah. The door is closed currently.
Do you want me to roll initiative and then you can call me in whatever round? Or do you want me to just wait?
You said you started climbing down already?
Yep.
I'll say that happened as, So, yeah, you can go ahead and roll initiative.
I'm climbing down.
I rolled it the same. Just so I don't have to roll later if I show up.
And
So
then
leave them all like that. That'll help me.
Um,
See, I knew it was cold shit. Look at those colds. Damn, look at their rolls.
all right. I'm not going to do the group right yet. That one was over there. And that little ghost guy is the servant, so I haven't put my commoner token yet. I'm not putting him as a combatant. He's cowering as soon as you guys started making hostile actions. All right. Let me... All right, so you go to stop this man from leaving. And he snarls back at you and pulls a short sword from his cloak. And we'll start top of the round. Let me begin combat. That would help.
Okay. I'm going to take one step closer,
Okay.
and then at second level, they
All
need
right.
to make Constitution saving throws, I believe.
All
Yeah.
right.
Con saves, DC 16. Full damage on a failed save, and they get pushed back 10 feet away from me.
They both fail.
Okay, so they take 17 points of thunder damage as a rippling shockwave of energy pushes away from me towards the south, and they each get knocked back 10 feet.
Are they prone to?
Okay.
Oh man, this is super loud. So the thunderous broom goes out 300 feet. It doesn't say that they go prone. I guess that'd be up to Richard. 'Cause
Okay.
One's going to fall onto the table, and the
Yep.
other one's going to fall against the chair.
Yep.
So I don't know if you want to do deck saves for them or how you want to make that work. But yeah, they're definitely hitting stuff by this.
I'll say the one who gets blown back, it just gets blown back against the chair, and he actually doesn't have to make a deck save because he's blown back against it, and then lands on his feet. This one, I'm not even gonna give him a deck save because he just gets knocked over the table end to end and is like falling off the other end. I would say he is prone on falling off the other end of the table.
Beautiful, beautiful. And then at a 4th level, oh no, I can't do another one. It has to be a cantrip.
Poppy,
Oh, I
as
can
as
do
you
a
were-
cantrip.
you can do is that a bonus action?
If it's a bonus action cantrip, yeah.
Yeah, you can. Poppy, as you're about to start searching the servants' quarters, you hear a thunderous boom coming from upstairs. And Halbar, as you are starting to climb down, you also hear the thunderous boom.
Hopefully the size of this mansion will deaden that a little bit so the whole neighborhood doesn't freak out. That's pretty much all I can do. I'm gonna step back. I took 1 step forward, so I will now go 30.
Okay. If you could remove the box, please.
It'll end at the end of his turn when he clicks done.
Okay, cool.
And that's my turn. Oh, the prone guy is up next. Nice.
All right, he will spend half his movement getting up, and then move 5, 10. No, yeah, he can move through allies. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. 45, 60. No, sorry. It should be less than that because he moved 15 less.
Yeah, he used half his movement to get up.
Yeah, so he also dashed for his action, so he's there. That is his turn. Oh. I don't want to end combat.
Just click the arrow next to
How do
it.
I end?
Is there an in?
Should be an arrow next to it.
I'm used to hitting that button there, turn as a
player, right?
yeah. Poppy. So you are starting to make your way into the first room of the servants' quarters when you hear this thunderous come from the top.
Knowing that probably came from upstairs, then I guess I stealthily go my way back, try to go upstairs.
Okay, roll a stealth check.
So this would be my action.
Yeah. And do you have anything that would negate the movement speed when you were stealthing? Because it's half movement when you're stealthing.
That's only when you're traveling. Well, I'm gonna dash anyways for my bonus action.
19, good enough. So you make your way through the kitchen.
It's 80 feet. If it's 80 feet normally, if it's not half movement. Total
Okay.
movement plus dash. Because action was stealth.
Action was stealth, yeah. Plus your
or
dash.
vice versa. Bonus action.
Yeah, either
dash.
way. Either way. I'll have to look up the movement in combat for stealth.
Because there is no, not for combat. The half movement you're talking about is for
It's for
travel.
travel.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
for travel. Because when we're playing, remember I would hide behind something that I would move. There wasn't ever any
Yeah.
penalty.
So you were able to get to the door pretty much in your turn.
Cool.
It is closed.
But there's a commotion here on the other side, right?
Definitely.
Okay. Oh, that ends my turn. I need to click something.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right. This cultist, seeing his fellow friends being attacked by some spell, realizes the jig is up, pulls the short sword, and with a scream, goes and attacks Fenwick.
Shit. My bad.
For a 16 to hit.
No, that misses.
I don't know why that's. All right. And I believe these guys only get. Yep. One action. All right. That is the end of his turn.
It's not a good campaign of D&D if we don't kill a couple cultists.
It's not
Yeah, you missed out on
turn.
You missed out on the last cult, so.
Okay, I will cast Thunderstep.
Oh shit.
So this guy has to make. Well, everybody within 10 feet of me has to make a con
Oh
save.
no, the butler.
Oh,
Gonna go out.
no.
Okay, fine. Tell you what, I'll be nice and I will move, and then I will cast.
You like go to
All
cast
right.
it, and then you see him sniveling in the corner. You're like, all right. I think that's
I'm
a
guessing a
fail.
10 doesn't make it.
Yes, that fails. So
just like went from zero to 100 real quick.
real
and,
quick.
and I will teleport over there.
And he is blown back by that, right?
What does it say?
15 feet, right?
No. No.
Even if he's
I don't
not,
think
I'm
so.
gonna say you see his body parts being flown back, and actually his hand actually slaps the butler. His disembodied hand as
Gross.
he's literally like blown to bits. All right. Is that your turn?
That is my turn.
Halbar. I'll say you're about halfway down when you heard.
I will hear this commotion, and I will jump down, and on my way down, I will rage. So I make sure I take damage, so my rage keeps going.
Okay. You can also give me a dexterity check or acrobatics check.
Acrobatics, okay.
Natural 20. Nice. So I'll say you were, because the back part of the house wasn't as high, it was like the overhang over the kitchen. So you were about 30 feet up, and you were about 15 feet up when you heard the commotion and jumped.
Okay.
So that's 2d6, or no, 1d6 for 10 feet, right?
Yeah, for 10 feet, so 15 would
Wow,
be 2d6.
2d6, yeah. So 8 halved because of your acrobatics checks.
Mhm.
4 halved the raging, take 2 points of damage.
Okay.
Damn.
You did not use any movement because you jumped off. You let go.
All
so
right.
You still have your full.
I will go over there and open the door.
He really is like Batman.
Is it, can I open the door?
The back. So that's not where you are actually. That door. So the back door is into the kitchens.
Uh-huh.
It is locked. So
Can I break it down?
you certainly can. Give me an how are you breaking it down?
I mean, I'm gonna try to bash through it, break through it,
All right,
like
give me an athletics check.
bust through it. 25.
Yeah, easily.
Oh my god.
You burst through, and you see these two servants like cowering in the corner, like not knowing what the hell is going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
You see like some cooking pots over a fire, not even coming to a boil. And they're just cowering in the corner, and they see you burst through, and they just scream and like cover up.
All right. Is that 15 feet from the
First in like
The-
late, man.
back lawn to the door?
No, you jumped right onto the door, so you
Okay.
just burst through. I'd say I used with that athletic check, you only used 5 feet of the movement to go in. It's another 15 feet to go to the end of the kitchen.
I'll
And then I would say
go
another-
15.
Another 15 feet to get to the stairwell,
Okay.
and then I'll say
I have 10 more on my movement.
20 feet up to the double. Yeah, 20 feet up the stairs, and then you gotta go another 30 feet to get to the double doors of the. So you're 30 feet from where you need to be to get to the door.
Okay. So I'll dash. My movement is
Okay.
40. So I
Okay.
get to the door and I open the door.
All right.
And I have
Poppy,
10 more feet.
Roll me a percentile die.
I would argue that his action was to break down the door.
Yeah, but you get an interact.
Ooh.
You get an interact object though.
An item
It's a part of
interaction.
movement.
Yeah, but
I-
the thing that he used a dash action.
Oh yeah. You wouldn't be able to dash because
This is
you
true.
broke through the door.
No problem.
So you are 30 feet.
All right, I didn't want to get run over.
Yeah.
All good.
You are 30 feet.
So that was Poppy arguing that, not
You're
Ed.
halfway up the stairs right now. Get to the first floor.
Amazing.
Is that your turn?
I'm going to action surge and run more.
Yeah.
Better move, Poppy.
Poppy, give me a percentile die.
Oh, I just have to roll that.
You're good. You see Halbar running. It's a pretty big double door. So there are 4 parts. There, like you're on like one. There, like you. There's 4 lengths of you, right, standing upright. From this double door, and luckily he does not hit the 1/4 part that you are in. You had a 25% chance of getting hit.
It's like what was that game show back in the day, the American Gladiators, where you were like running through the
Yeah.
different doors and there was a gladiator behind some of
Yeah,
the doors?
yeah.
That just happened but in reverse.
But in
Yeah.
reverse.
So you said 20 feet. So I'm going to move another 20 feet into the room.
So it was 30 feet from where you were, from the stairs.
Okay. I'll move another 10 feet into the room.
Okay, you can open the door. Oh, you already opened it?
Yep.
You see Fenthwick right next to you as you come in. Belladin standing there as well. You see a cowering servant over in the corner near a side
Covered in
table.
blood.
Covered in blood and body parts, like an arm and a leg, like hanging off this end table. And 3 2 women and one man. Some 2 pretty bloodied with short swords and cloaks revealing leather armor beneath.
Belladin says with a free action, "Thank goodness you're here, James. They've got her somewhere."
Dun dun.
That's my turn.
All right. With fanatical fever, this guy charges the first person he sees, which is Halbar.
Hell yeah.
Eleven misses.
It gets you every time it was on that 16, man.
Yeah. I assume that misses Halbar.
Yep, misses.
as you see this woman's bloody face, right? She's screaming out towards you, and she's like blindly slashing out with her short sword, and you barely like move. Like, these are not trained combatants. This guy finally gets a go. $15, $20, $25, $30, $35, $40, $45, $50, and $60. That's his turn.
The outside?
That was running?
Huh?
Is he outside?
That was running?
He is running past you guys into the hallway. Belladin,
The hallway's like 40 feet? 35 feet?
Yes, I'll say it. Yes, because I made it that way. It's a big hall. It's a big hallway because it's this whole second story leading up to the stairways opens up, and it's kind of like a big
Gotcha.
sitting room, and then
Okay. I wouldn't have run it in that far.
Seeing how how we can take these guys down.
how the stairwell going down is straight where this guy. It's like you ran straight here, right?
Gotcha. I ran up the stairs.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
straight here. So the stair is going that
Gotcha.
way, where that guy is running towards.
So, Animorph style, Belladin turns and just like bellows out this roar, and it goes from a man's roar into a tiger's roar as he changes into a large tiger and then uses his movement to get in front
Okay, the map. You can keep
of
it
that fellow right there.
I kind of dimmed.
And yep. And I basically am blocking him. How wide is the hallway?
However wide that is. Yep. And it opens up. It opens up into a bigger, like, kind of study waiting room.
So
Yeah.
I'm basically just getting next to him. So if he tries to run away, I can
Yeah.
just swipe at him. Because
Okay.
that was unfortunately like wild shape is an action. So
Yeah.
this is where I live now, and that's my turn.
All right. This guy. 5, 10, 15, 20.
Oh my god, how far did I move?
You didn't move that far.
Holy shit. I'm so sorry.
What?
As a tiger, I moved back 5 feet,
Uh huh.
and then I moved 20 feet in a straight line,
Uh huh.
which allows me to pounce.
As a bonus, as long as you're moving.
As a part of the movement. If the tiger moves at least 20 feet straight towards a creature and then hits it with a claw. Oh, never mind.
Hits it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have an action. Sorry. Go ahead.
No worries. It's gonna swing at you, Hal.
I've never been attacked before.
I'm ready.
21 to hit
That hits.
for 4 slashing.
For 2 slash.
Are you large now?
Yes.
I don't know if tigers are large. Okay.
Yes. I'm a large tiger.
I'm gonna have to start making you wild shape tokens. Remind me of that.
Tiger.
Uppercut.
Poppy.
How wide are the stairs?
So the stairs.
Because
This
I
opens
know-
up the hallway. They're about 20 feet.
Okay, so it's like that. Oh, that's 15. It's like that. It's not centered. Oh, there you go, like that. I don't know
Yeah.
if you see that.
Give me a second. I'm gonna do something real quick.
He's going to create a world of darkness using his godlike powers.
So we'll say, this opens up here, and it's a large study area, and then so over here, You see that?
Yep.
Yeah.
So that would be where the stair is, about 30 feet down from you guys. Would be the
Okay.
stairs there.
Okay.
30 feet down this hallway.
Oh, so this is just a large study area. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Wait. No, 20 feet. Sorry.
Like a foyer to the dining room.
Yeah. There's a study area over here, and then there's like a wall right here, and then it opens up to another hallway with like spare bedrooms there.
Okay, then I'll. Does this work? Wow, it does
Yep.
work. Then I'll go there,
Uh-huh.
and then I take out my whip
Yep.
and attack
Nice.
that guy
All right. Go for it.
with advantage because
You're invisible.
Can't
You
see
are.
me.
Oh shit.
26 to hit
That hits.
for,
Max
and he needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, that's right. Why did I give you this whip?
damage.
11.
That fails. So he takes 26 points of damage, 9 slashing, 12 sneak, and 5 poison.
So Belladin, in your tiger form, you
Oh, and obviously I'm invisible, so yeah, you can just it looks like what happens.
well you become visible when you attack. It's not greater invisibility, right?
No.
So yeah, Belladin, in your tiger form, you rush up to this guy and you're about to like you get your claws ready and you're ready to bite him, and you excuse me, you sniff the air for a moment, and your head cocks to the side, but you don't see anything, and suddenly you hear and your head whips back, and you see blood pouring out of this guy's neck, and suddenly a black-thorned whip materializes, and like the end of it, and it starts to materialize, and at the end you see Poppy holding the other end, and she yanks it back, and the guy body spins, and blood just spins out around him like some kind of like horrifying like spinning top, and he
As
falls.
a tiger,
As a tiger.
I drink from the blood fountain
Yeah.
that Poppy has created. I'm also glad that Poppy and everyone was here to see me change into a tiger, so they just didn't think there was a tiger here that we also needed to kill.
Yeah. That guy
Nice.
is dead.
Good damn turn.
Anything else, Poppy?
Then, yeah. Oh, oops. And then I will. This brother. Then I move there,
Mm-hmm.
and then I bonus action. Oh, this guy's in front of me. Never mind.
That guy's
Whoa.
dead.
That guy's dead.
Oh, that guy's dead.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then I bonus action hide.
You can click on the combat tracker. You can click like the skull button to show that they're dead.
Okay, I don't remember which ones until it pops up for their turn. So next time.
Well, you can actually click it on the combat tracker, I think.
Okay, that one's dead.
And then the one next to me.
Oh, it was the one, yeah, before
So
you, right?
as you put your cursor over the different people, it'll show you which one you're highlighting. So that's the last one on the list, the one that's next to me.
Okay. All right,
Dead.
Fentwick.
So I'm like, Hal, you're pretty healthy, right?
Do what you need to do, Fenwick.
No,
I won't
I
move.
can't say anything because I'm a tiger. But stop using real names.
These guys won't be around long enough to worry
Yeah, but
about
the
our real
servant
name.
might.
He's got other problems.
he's got a hand on his face.
What the heck? That worked so well last time. I will thunderstep again.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Wow.
So everybody within 10 feet of me.
Oh my god, that's me too. That's me too.
Is it a cone or?
It's just within 10 feet.
Yeah, I don't think
Am I
Poppy
within
needs
10 feet of
to.
you?
No, you're on the other side of the wall. I think you're fine.
Oh, you're good.
I have to make the save though. It's a con save.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
actually rolled pretty well.
As a tiger.
Well, they still take half damage.
Okay.
Squeak's like, this is fun.
Oh, nice. I got a 20.
All right. Roll
So
damage.
I take 9 damage.
All right. Where's
Yeah.
the damage? Oh,
You did.
18.
18.
9. Yeah. They only had 5 hit points each.
That was amazing. Fenwick's just straight murdering
Mhm.
fools. Wow.
So,
And the
right,
funny thing is, that spell is also heard up to 300 feet away.
Oh,
So the people out the street are just hearing like boom, boom, boom,
boom.
and
Just
people going,
bombs
ah!
off.
you're probably thinking another siege is happening.
Oh my god, yeah. We've got plausible deniability.
So yeah, as the arterial spray from the first guy being spun by Poppy's thorn whip hasn't even landed on your fur yet, Belladin, as you are splattered with more blood and gore as 2 more bodies are blasted apart with thunderous magical energy.
Wow.
And we'll end this combat here because there are no more immediate threats in the area.
Belladin gets on top of the table and just starts roaring at the as a large tiger roaring at the servant.
All right.
Make sure he doesn't move.
Give me an intimidation check with advantage.
Damn, max healing? That's amazing. All right, let me pull up. Do I get? I guess it would be charisma with.
All right. Not hard to intimidate him right now. So he is cowering in the corner behind this end table. God, please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. I had nothing to do with this. They threatened to kill me too. He's just babbling.
So as a bonus action, I'm gonna anamorph back into Belladin.
Mhm.
And so I'm standing on the table, staff just covered in blood, and say, "Where
They're
are
in
they
the,
keeping them?"
they're in the cellar. He's gone mad, I tell you. Mad.
How many more are there that we need to kill?
There's Master Warsh and 2 more. His most trusted friends. I don't know. He's gone mad ever since the siege, I'm telling you. He's always been entitled, brat, but there's something in his eyes now.
I'm gonna use some rope and tie him to, well, I guess this big chair thing right here. If it looks sturdy, so he can't leave, and say, "You need to stay here, and if you stay here, you'll survive this."
Of course, I'll cooperate with whatever you need. Whatever you need to inspect.
Yeah, we found the source of the smell and we've taken care of it. And then I walk away.
I didn't know health inspectors were so bad.
All right, let's go fucking get those women. Or one woman.
Next campaign is just health inspectors going around inspecting.
We found the source.
I'll lead them out to the cellar shutter doors I saw.
Cellar door.
It is locked.
All right, Drew Barrymore, let's go.
I'm gonna break it open.
All right, give me an athletics check.
Am I still raging?
Are you still raging?
I would say it's already faded as you.
I keep slapping him in the back of the head as we go downstairs to keep his.
I kind of stop Hal and go, hey, we're supposed to be rogues, right?
Oh, yes.
I think we might have lost the element of surprise.
Was it all the explosions?
Yeah, the 3 large explosions that just happened upstairs might have been a giveaway.
Okay.
I will go to the door,
And then I step out of Hal's way.
and as I get to the cellar door, I will rage again and try to break it open. Pull it open. Tug on it.
All right, give me give me an athletics.
As he's doing this, I'm going to use symbiotic entity with
20.
another wild shape.
Okay. Yeah, you easily rip off the doors from the hinges, the cellar doors from the hinges. You don't actually break the lock. You actually just rip the doors right off.
Perfect.
And you guys hear loud chanting coming from the darkness below. You feel a faint glow coming from the dark stairs.